on that people can look forward to, that kind of stuff. So Astro, if you want to start out.
Hi, I'm Astral. You can find me on XAstralTVX under all my social media and streams. I'm currently more like leaning towards ASMR shows right now, but I'm online every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. So yeah, thanks for having me again for sale, and yeah.
I love the ASMR streams. I know a lot of people like find it cringy. I fucking love ASMR. Like,
I love ASMR.
I know, me too. ASMR is so like 50-50. It's like split down the middle. Like people either love it or they fucking hate it. that's
And the people that hate it will let you know that they hate it. Like, I've had trolls come in here and be like, "This isn't what Twitch is for."
Oh my god.
Like,
Twitch
shut
is
the fuck
for
up.
everything. Jesus Christ. All right, Kevlar.
Hello everyone, I'm Kevlar. Pleasure to see you once again. Thanks for having me. I am a variety streamer. I'm streaming right now, kind of like during the lunch hours during the week. Split schedule, kind of. I don't know. Just follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that. But I play a lot of different games, solo games, storyline games, multiplayer games, shooters, you name it. A lot of fun. Guys, check me out on my socials, and thanks for having me once again.
Yeah, thanks for being on again. Jojo West.
Hello, I'm Jojo West, a variety streamer. I stream for the time being Tuesdays. I do the panel on Thursdays, and I stream Saturdays. I'm doing Red Dead Redemption and Jackbox games right now. And you can find me on social media at Jojo West Model.
Sweet. Sigo?
I'm Psychorhythm. I play a lot of Magic and horror games and mostly variety, but we do play a lot of Magic. You can find me everywhere at Psychorhythm. We watch weed anime and shit and Discord and stuff on Mondays and do whatever. So.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, if you guys like Magic the Gathering, he's the dude you need to hit up for Magic the Gathering for sure. Lou Mark.
What's up? My name is Lou Merck, aka Lil Viagra, aka Black Nebraska. You can find me on Instagram and all that as Lou Merck, or you know, my other nickname is this, but hey, I don't go by that all the time. My teacher, that's a whole story about my teacher, but hey, shouts out.
Good shit. Crazy?
What's up, everybody? C Crazy, CK for short. I like variety streamer, graphic design on my spare time. Socials are all C Crazy, and yeah.
Sweet, man. Thanks for being on. Jack?
I am Jack Murray. I stream on the weekends with my kids. I got lucky and got them set up for a Studio Ghibli film and did a little Diablo while they were preoccupied, so that was fun.
Nice.
But you can find me on Twitter at _ Jack Mary _ and Twitch at Jack Mary.
Oh yeah, man. All right, Sishay?
Yeah, CJ here. All my socials are right here. CJ Plays. I'm variety Twitch streamer. Currently playing Persona 5, playing through that for the first time. It's actually caught my attention, so I'm surprised about that. Yeah, I do music stuff. I was doing DJ streams until recently, and yeah, find my SoundCloud for just CJ, or all my social medias, CJ Plays, and yeah, YouTube video. I do reaction videos, so I do pretty much too much. But
Good
yeah.
shit, man. That's
Well,
good.
I'm glad to be back.
Oh yeah, Bronichiwa, aka TJ.
Thanks for letting me come in a little bit later. Sorry.
Oh, you're always welcome to jump in.
Awesome. Thanks again for having me. I am Bronichiwa, obviously, right? I mostly work with self-improvement and self-discipline streams, kind of focusing on things like cutting weight and reaching your goals, basically. Other than that, when I'm not doing that, I'm just playing a variety of games, but mostly it's about trying to get people to look at a mountain, not like a mountain to climb, but as a thing that you take one step and one hand over the other, like at a time.
All right, fair enough. Pretty sweet. I mean, hell, I've been thinking about here lately, looking for, because I wanted to hire a personal trainer, but I was thinking like, why don't I find somebody on Twitch and we just like both benefit from like them training, posting on social media, like all that good stuff. Like, I mean, of course, may pay them, but like we would both benefit from the content from it.
You could pay them in memes.
There you go. All the memes. So usually we start out with getting to know you questions, but all of you have been on before. We're still waiting on, so Wild Spice should be jumping in here a little bit later, and then Indy Garona should be jumping in as well. Which, Kevlar, if you get a chance, can you DM Indy?
Yeah, I got you.
See if she is running late. All right, so we'll just jump right into the topics then. Are you a morning person or late night person? And how would you handle your partner being the complete opposite of you?
I'm a morning person. It can be both.
You're a morning person? Oh man. Wait, do you work out in the mornings?
Yeah, usually before Corona hit and the gym was open, I used to wake up like at 4 in the morning.
Oh fuck no.
And then get it done before work. Because like if you go home after work, you're like, I'm tired. You find more excuses after work. You're like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm tired. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, it's true. That's why I work out on the weekends, and I work out like 2 days a week. That's probably about it.
Hey, it counts. It still counts.
It works. It works.
For me, it just depends on the night before. Like, I love getting up and having a great morning, but it's not always in the cards, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I
Coffee
need
helps.
coffee does help. I need like 30 minutes to an hour to fully wake up and have a conversation. I am a major bitch if you try to disturb me in the morning.
Damn. Noted.
I'd like
Technically, I'm a morning person, but that's because I don't go to bed until like 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's like, well, when you go
I
to
work
bed,
night shift, so-
important.
I'd like to think I'm a morning person, but apparently I'm not. And it really depends on how much sleep I got the night before. Like if I didn't get like restful sleep, I'm a total bitch. But yeah, I think I'm more of a night person.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think I'm a night person. With kids, I don't have the option, but I try and balance. Try and keep it neat.
I'm gonna kid wake up at 3 o'clock with you.
Ugh, God.
I'm mostly a night owl, but if given the proper motivation, I will snap to it right in the morning. So I can pull off.
The smell of bacon in the morning. I'll wake my ass up in a heartbeat.
I mean, yeah, it
Well,
would.
even any kind of breakfast food, if I smell it in the morning, I'm up.
But who's making that for you? Your wife? Is your wife making that for you?
Well, you can set the auto timer on the coffee pot. That's step
Just
one.
put some bacon in the coffee pot and call it a day.
The bacon. I want a timer on like a skillet that makes bacon for me.
There you go. That'd
Like
be
the
sweet.
Pee-wee movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even have to go a Pee-wee movie. You just get an Arduino, wire that shit up with a 5-volt switch. You got yourself set.
Mount it on your bike.
You better not be watching Titans.
We had friends who visit us, and my girlfriend's husband would make us breakfast every morning, and it was fucking wonderful.
Oh.
Like he'd come in and be like, I made you guys breakfast, and we're like, yes.
Oh my God. That would be amazing. Be like, can I live here?
I totally want to keep him.
I feel like they say the creative minds are more late night people. I think that's what I remember being told like years ago. Is like the more like creative mind people are more like awake at night because that's when it kind of just sparks interest. And
I've heard things like that too.
I think
I
we're
don't
just
know.
trying to make excuses for
you
ourselves.
say morning,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what that is. I haven't seen morning since 10 a.m.
Nah, I'm
I
a morning
try to
person.
reverse it.
I'm a morning person though. Like when school was going around, like I would wake up like 4:30, some shit, just study up, like go to sleep late. I don't know. There's like times where I'll just go like ham with shit and just like sleep at 12 or like 1 o'clock and then wake up 4:30 and fucking just go and be as productive as possible. But because of Corona, I just wake up 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I don't give a shit. Like honestly, I just let everything go. So
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I was during quarantine as well. Especially like if you were off work or like unemployed, like fuck it, why I mean, but like besides job hunting, what else are you doing besides, I don't know, some fucking chores around the house?
I just like on weekends, I hate like waking up late, but I always do because I feel like I've missed so much of the day where I could have been doing stuff.
Yeah, that's the worst. So during the week, I'm real bad about sleep. I'm trying to improve on it really hard because I mean, sleep really affects your fitness. It really does. Like you retain a shit ton more water. Your body doesn't absorb the nutrients it needs as efficiently. It doesn't process like the foods as efficient, like all that kind of stuff. Like it affects a lot. But I'm trying to get better about it. But like during the week, I get maybe 5 hours of sleep a night, maybe. And then during the weekend, I sleep in for like 12 hours. So I go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday and then wake up 2 p.m. Saturday. And I'm like, well, fuck, there goes my Saturday.
Are any of you guys like light sensitive? I feel like I could be a night person, but like the light from, even if I use blackout curtains, if I see like lights coming out of the edge, it still wakes me up.
I mean, you really have to black it. Like my room, when I say blackout, it is fucking blackout. There is no light that gets through the blinds or windows or anything.
I could sleep through anything. I've slept
I have
before.
blackout curtains and everything in my room, but I also have like strobing LED lights underneath my TV. But I also go to bed at like 10 a.m. and wake up at like 4. So 4 p.m. But I work all night. Every day.
How do you do that with kids though? Like that's wild.
My kids go to bed when I go to bed at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, or whenever.
Are they not in school right now?
Not good practice.
No, they're not in school. It's the summer.
No kids
Oh,
in school.
okay. See, I don't
It's
have kids. I don't know.
quarantine.
Plus they all got pulled out of school. So yeah, like ended up watching Attack on Titan with my oldest till like 8 o'clock this morning. And then we went to bed and woke up at 3:30.
Yeah, since quarantine, I think a lot of sleep schedules were all jacked up. Wait, who's still in quarantine? Shit.
I'm in self-imposed.
Now-
Phases of it.
Yeah, like stuff is starting to open back up here, but like you have to be careful because if you watch the news and are actually paying attention, like Arizona just told all of their medical facilities to go on like full-blown
Get
emergency
ready.
mode because like it's overwhelming them so bad because they opened shit up 4 weeks ago before everyone else did. So now the second wave is hitting and it's overwhelming the medical system there now.
I'll give it a couple of weeks. It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be real.
It's gonna be real bad, and then oh man, it's gonna be utter
But
chaos.
also, but also like it's getting warmer outside. The virus is gonna die.
That's not how that works.
That's not how that works.
No,
I
it doesn't
wish.
work that way. No,
I
it really doesn't
Now-
work that way.
It's like a flu versus virus thing. Viruses they don't die from.
So now, what you're probably thinking of is like during flu season, they're definitely expecting it to peak during flu season, like when it gets cooler out. So
Because
that might be
everybody
what you're
gets
thinking of.
sick. Most people get sick during the wintertime.
Yeah, and now what's going to be bad is this has similar symptoms to other illnesses, so like it's going to be real like unless they get this testing shit figured out, they're going to be hurting.
That's got ways to go.
We're all
too.
going to be hurting. So hopefully.
My concern though is just like out in pub. Well, this is not even the topic, is it?
I mean, we can talk about it. Fuck it.
I'm just gonna say my only concern is like I want to do my part and wear a mask in public just so I don't spread anything. Whatever. I don't care. It's just a fucking mask. But in my office, because we work in a building that has multiple suites with many different office or companies there.
Mm-hmm.
No one's walking around wearing a mask, but like the whole place is set up with hand sanitizer everywhere, like social distance hallways and elevators
Damn.
and one way this and
That's
that.
good.
And like no one's wearing a mask. It's like, dude, what the hell? I don't want to go back out in public now.
I have a friend who just messaged me today who's in quarantine because he was horny and he hooked up with a girl and the girl texted him a couple days later and said, hey, I have coronavirus. So he's now in self-quarantine.
See, that's
to
my
make sure that he
fear.
doesn't have it.
I have not hooked up with anybody during quarantine. I'm going fucking insane. And I'm afraid, like, god damn it, I'm afraid to like hook up with somebody because like you never know.
I was
God
like, why
damn it.
didn't you wear a mask? It's
Listen,
like,
nothing's worse than
Just wear a
getting
mask, you'll be fine.
nothing worse than getting the C squared clapping COVID.
Oh God, could you imagine? Shittiest.
Wow.
God damn. That'd be so bad.
Those are both temporary, right? Is that?
Yeah, I mean it's a bad fucking couple weeks.
that's if you survive.
Like,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
fucking worth it, bro.
Actually, he only
Is it
tested
though?
positive for clap and he
Oh,
died. You know?
Man. All right. So back to the topic. Are you a morning person or late night person? How would you handle your partner being the complete opposite? So like I'm definitely a late night person. I've always my entire life been a late night person. I remember staying up and watching like Tales from the Crypt and shit when I was a kid. Like I've always been I've always been a late night person. And that was
My
old
ex-wife was a
reruns,
morning
okay? I
person.
wasn't watching it live or anything.
My ex-wife was a morning person, and we just kind of made it work where I would be up all night with the kids, if they wanted to stay up late and do whatever, and she would be in bed by 8 o'clock. And then if I wanted to sleep in, I would sleep in, and she would get up early with the kids. But then I would also watch the kids so she could take a nap because she's lazy as fuck. So she would take like a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day, and whatever. That's how we made it work.
I was just about to ask, is I like taking naps the type of person?
Oh, naps are the best.
I fucking suck at naps. I just wake up tired. I'm like, I'd rather go to bed.
Yeah,
So
same.
there's actually a science to naps, and I learned this when we went in for sleep studies because my husband and I both have sleep apnea. You should not nap for more than 45 minutes. It should literally be 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Half an hour is usually my cap.
I think more than that.
It takes me that long to fall asleep.
It messes up your like sleep schedule and everything.
All I'm gonna say is I can't nap, so I have to make sure I get enough sleep because if I wake up from a nap, I have anxiety for the rest of the day and I don't know.
Yeah.
Same.
I have anxiety. You just sleep there and you think about all the bullshit and like, okay, I'm not napping.
For
No, it's just like
me,
it's like existential. It's like I don't even know why. It's just like why do I feel so weird?
I get anxiety from napping too, and when I get that, I am the crabbiest bit.
Oh, hangry, and I'm a crabby motherfucker.
Oh, I'm a hangry one.
Yeah. Well, like I don't get mean, but I definitely get moody. And like my phrase is I'm pissy right now. Like I'm pissy.
Pissy?
I'm pissy.
Need some pretzels and peanut butter.
for that
Fucking pissy
immediate
right now.
question, if you have a partner, my main partner, even though we're still like way long distance anyways as is, my main partner, she's a super morning person. Like I'm talking, sometimes she'll have a shift at 3 a.m., 3, 4, 3, 5, 7 a.m. I'm not waking up anytime sooner than 10 a.m. At least for now. I mean, I'll be lucky if I hit. I'm not waking 11 or 12. Anytime. So usually she'll be asleep by like 6, 7, 8, depending on when she works the next day, and I'm up till like 4 or 5 a.m. So it makes it weird. It's a little difficult when you have different. I mean, it really varies. Though, if you're living with someone, it's probably much worse because they'll probably wake you up super early morning if you're late night, and vice versa. And it makes it difficult, but it's not impossible. Communication.
I don't think I've ever dated a morning person. I think everyone I've ever been with has been a night owl like me.
Oh, I for sure have. Like
I would shoot them.
my ex of like my longest relationship, she was in, I'm talking like she was like you, Bernice. She would wake up fucking 4:30 in the morning, go to the gym and shit, and she'd have her day going. I wouldn't wake up till like 10, 11 o'clock because I would be up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But it was tough. It was really like it was a tough relationship to fucking like try to spend quality time and stuff together because she would get pissy because I wouldn't go to bed with her like when she wanted to go to bed. Like I have shit to do. Plus, I would like to stay up and fucking relax a little bit. So no, I'm not
right to bed. You gotta decompress and just keep like, okay, I'm ready to bed.
Yeah,
that drives me nuts is when they're like, I'm gonna go to bed now. Are you coming?
No.
Where are you?
Oh God.
And they always do that when you're doing something like
no, I got shit to do.
Like, I'll see you there in a bit.
Right?
When you lose a game of League of Legends, and she's like, "Don't get mad at me because your stupid game." And you're like,
Keep it down. I'm sleeping.
Bitch.
I've actually tried putting like my computer in the same room. Like that doesn't work because then they bitch that you're being loud.
Of course.
To people.
Or you guys could just, detach from each other's hips and like one of you can go to sleep.
This is
and
what she wanted.
do
So
their thing.
I actually ended up converting one of the rooms because all my kids, even though they have their own rooms, always sleep together. So I just took one of the rooms and made it an office, and I would just stay up until like 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah,
You
that's
could stack bunk beds to make more room for activities.
I'm just saying, take that League of Legends loss, take that rage, bottle it up, use it in the.
Yeah, punish.
God.
How
In a
dare you
good
kite me on
way.
A?
Hopefully in a good way. Jeez. All right. So this person has what's considered to be a micro penis. How can they learn to love their body, communicate it to other partners without scaring them off, and still offer a lot in the bedroom?
Get into penis humiliation.
I was gonna say work on your oral game
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
most of the time
financial position, you could just get started. I mean, if you have the money.
you get a water
asshole.
water pumps. So water pumps actually work. They actually make your penis grow. Yeah, look at Terry's face. He's like,
It's
what?
Like, wait,
so
what?
The
Is
thing
he-
about penis pumps is
Hey,
that they
gotcha.
make it grow, but it just engorges them. It doesn't necessarily make it grow. It
That's air
engorges.
pumps.
Permanent growth.
Water pumps are different. Water pumps do actually provide permanent growth. I am more than happy to do an entire conversation about this and explain the science to you.
I'm probably gonna.
No, explain.
Right? Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
all right,
Let's
all
hear
right.
this
So-
shit. We got
so the
here.
way
What up,
that-
Fave Gal Jen?
Hold on, you have somebody new.
Welcome.
I owned one before. I'm not.
I think she just hugged us all.
She did.
Can she hear us?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Is she in
Can't hear
Discord?
you. No.
Oh,
I'll,
push.
I'll explain water
to
pumps
talk?
real quick.
Or do you want voice activation?
Hi, sorry.
There you go. You're good.
Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Water pump, penis
Welcome,
enlargement. Go ahead.
Okay,
The
all right,
timing.
so water pumps.
Yeah, we're
Got it.
gonna-
Cool. All right, so what you do, like when you create pressure with the water pump, it actually applies that pressure to the penis in all areas. So the difference between an air pump is that the air pump actually just swells the penis and it's temporary. It just draws blood to the area. With a water pump, the way that you use them is you use them every day for a specific amount of time.
With the shower
and then-
mount.
Yes, with a shower mount. Now you have to, like, if you use it the way it's supposed to, you get about a 33% growth in both your length and width. Because what you're doing is you're stretching that, like those tissues, those capillaries, where the blood fills and it turns into an erection. Yes. So
Throwing a
if,
plunger to the crotch.
in a way, yeah, kind of. So you exercise the muscles of and like the capillaries of the penis, so you're increasing blood flow. Once you reach the size that you actually want, then you do it twice a week for maintenance. So it's like an exercise.
Yep.
So you don't
And
skip
also,
D-Day, right?
no, you can't skip D-Day. And also, don't use cold water.
Oh God.
Or if
You
want
do
to
it in the bath,
Yeah.
in the shower, and it's warm. And it actually does work. Like when I worked in actual retail, I had a guy that would come in to buy extensions because he had a 4-inch penis when it was erect. And
Not average, right?
No, average is
Average is
5.25 in
He's
America, actually. And after he started using it, he actually went from a 4-inch penis to a 6.5-inch penis. So
Wow.
it
Ah,
worked.
damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
My
extensions after
man.
that.
Wow.
They do work. You don't have to keep your micro penis.
Wow.
So,
But okay.
Hello, Becky.
You could go from
What if-
1 to 1.5. Boom.
There you go.
Done. Done.
My whole thing is like, what if they're like 1 inches though? Yeah, like you said,
Exactly,
1.5.
yeah.
So we actually
Three,
like
three,
the
that's
company
for
that
growth.
You
The
clearly
company
cannot.
that made them,
Wait, do what?
I was going to say the company that made them, like the
Mhm.
water pumps, they actually, and this sounds so bad, but they actually made a smaller one for the Asian market. And it's like it's meant to help you go from like the smaller like penis sizes in up to 5 inches. So
Don't
wow.
believe in stereotypes. I've met an Asian with a big penis.
I have too.
Yeah.
However, as a whole, their market, and then the reason why they did it is because that market kept asking for pumps that were smaller. So they actually did end up making one that's smaller. So now they start from like 1 inch up to 5 inch, and then they go from 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and then 9 to 11 and above. And yes, there are people that buy pumps to make their penises bigger than 9 inches.
So do I just get this off of Amazon or like?
I can tell you where to
Lou
get
Mark.
it. I'm more than happy to tell you.
JoJo West getting that cut. she's like selling them right now.
I'm trying to you know me. I like
Just independently
teaching.
grow your
Yeah.
penis.
So the biggest one is it goes up to 13 inches.
Jesus
I'm getting
Christ.
13 tonight,
Could
baby.
you imagine?
No.
Luke's
What
gonna end up
the
in the
fuck?
hospital with like a
It's called it's called the Goliath.
Look at this. This is a 12.9 inch iPad. Holy fuck.
Wait, you're saying you're not a Pringles can?
Holy shit. Just
But if
imagine.
you don't want to
You could beat someone with that.
Wait, what was the
But
topic?
if you don't want to enlarge it,
We
oral,
lost it a while ago.
I don't know.
oral and fingers.
It's
Yes.
micropenis.
Yeah.
Yes.
You-
So
Or
yeah, the original topic was this person has what's considered to be a micropenis. How can they learn to love their body, communicate to other partners without scaring them off, and still offer a lot in the bedroom?
Okay.
Oh, you had to love your body. Okay.
Just be
So-
straight up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
You don't want to waste time, then be like, I'm sorry, you're small.
No, you don't say
Like-
I'm sorry. Then that means it's as if it's a problem. You got to be okay with
No,
it.
no, that's a girl. That's a girl saying that to him.
Like, even if you have a micro penis is like 1 to 2 inches, but if just get into certain fetishes, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
face humiliation or anything like that, because
You have
I'm
to
gonna
be
be
able to
honest, you-
afford that, by the way.
Yeah, true.
At that point, it's just like a massive clit at that point. So just scissor
We call
or
it
like
engorged clit,
Yeah.
by the way.
That's all right.
No.
Tell them to scissor. Scissoring isn't even a thing. I'm gonna tell you that now. Like,
Right?
that's a porn thing. Nobody likes scissoring.
no,
That's a lot of
scissoring, you
work.
don't really feel
It's
it.
awkward.
Yeah, you don't feel scissoring at all. You really don't. It's just all for show.
Yeah.
I've never been in that situation, so I wouldn't know. But
So like if they have okay, like real advice here. So like if they have a micro penis and they're that concerned about it, like how could they communicate it to their partners? Let's say, so put yourself in that person's shoes. You're going out on a date with somebody and like you're afraid they're going to reject you over that. How could you communicate that in a way? Like, when would you communicate it? How would you communicate it? That type of stuff to not scare them off, basically. I mean,
Honestly,
granted,
it's me, dude.
like, there's always going to be some people that are going to be like, nah. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. But I think if you're not upfront and honest, I mean, it's just like anything. If there's something that maybe could cause an issue or could be maybe upsetting or anything like that, if you're not upfront and honest about it, then I mean that could just cause more issues in the end. So I'd rather have somebody be upfront and honest with me and go, all right, this is something I can deal with, or I'm just going to be that person. But I'd rather off the bat, like,
True.
yeah, basically.
I don't know. I feel like women are more apt to, and I feel like women are more forgiving / they're more, I don't want to say prone, but open to being won over by a guy's overall package, not just his dick, right?
exactly.
So I feel like I kind of want to change my stance. Like if a guy's good all around, then you can kind of, I feel like there's a possibility of winning someone over and they'll be like, oh, I don't care about your 4-inch dick.
I
Like,
mean,
let's teach you how to lick.
Fuck, if you're funny, you're attractive, you take care of yourself, you treat them well, and you know how to like use toys, your oral skills are on point, like I seriously doubt they're gonna be like, Nah. Maybe.
I don't think
maybe
it's
a couple.
first date
Oh, yeah.
conversation though.
Oh yeah,
Like, it's
yeah. Like
definitely
don't.
not a
Not at
first
all.
date thing.
Don't talk about
Like,
this.
once you start talking about hooking up, that's when you start to have this conversation.
Mhm.
For sure.
So,
But
yeah.
Toys,
Good.
toys can go along.
Yes. Toys.
Oh, absolutely.
You should definitely learn how to use toys. I mean, regardless of your dick size, honestly, you should fucking learn how to use toys. Like, if you don't at least know how to use a fucking vibrator in the bedroom, I don't know where you've been for the past 50 years.
At least an egg. At least an egg. If not a full-on vibrator.
Something.
There's also a lot of extenders out there, and some of them are super realistic. And they even come with like little things that you can put like inside the extender to like make up for that gap so that you can still feel sensation. So there's a lot of stuff out there. I always tell people, go to an adult store because these people are trained. Like, they will help you find what you need.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Really agree.
That's not just dick mods. I like that.
Basically, yeah.
Cyberpunk 2020. Dick extenders.
So, all right. Anyone else have anything for that topic before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, if we had dick bots, I'd like to get an extender for like a French tickler.
There you go.
Little add-on modification there.
Yeah, just swap out your
similar
mods.
with some.
I don't want to
I mean, it's probably a cock ring, isn't it, with the little tickler on it?
Well, they have extenders as well that have the rabbit part, and they have like textures, and some of them vibrate, some of them don't. Like, there's all sorts of stuff now.
Damn.
I have a question. I don't. This is probably gonna sound like a shitlord take. Is there one that's like? Is there an equivalent version for women? If you get what I'm saying here.
Oh.
For women.
So there's
why?
Are you talking about
extenders?
Yes, there's something called an O-nut. An
Wait,
O-nut
hold
is
on.
a modular.
Oh.
Yeah, OHNUT. And it is a modular ring system that is basically kind of like a pocket pussy, but it actually goes all the way through. It's about that tall. You can stack multiple ones on top of each other so that you can have more shaft bounce.
But were you saying, like, for Bernichua, can you please explain like what you meant?
So I'm not shaming any women for this.
Okay,
Like,
no,
some women, like sometimes you've heard the saying "hot dog in a hallway." Like,
Yeah.
is there?
So there is stuff that you can
Kegels.
use to shrink. Besides Kegels, there's stuff that you could, like, ointments that you can put in there. Unfortunately, they have alum. But yes, there is stuff.
They have what?
So they
Valves?
they have vibrators that actually like go inside and on the outside. Like, it curves. It goes inside and outside. That adds a little more tightness to it. And if you use a butt plug, that definitely helps as well.
Yes.
How would you approach
Just
that conversation with a woman? Would you be like, "Hey,
I mean,
listen,
just hey, are you open to
Don't.
trying this?
Honest? Yeah.
Just ask her if she's open to trying it. Don't be like, hey, so I
Goosey, this is what I need you to do.
I hear an echo. Like
Just throw some, vagina tightener at her.
I honestly don't know if
That's
there's a
the
safe
thing.
way to bring that up.
There is.
I mean, just ask them if they want to use the toys. That's it.
So it's kind of like the hot dog down the hallway thing. I don't think women necessarily have to worry about until they have kids, because that's kind of like, there's yoni eggs, there's Kegels, there's all sorts of things you could do to tighten that muscle.
Even after they have kids.
Well, like I said, after they have kids, it's because they can. There's a thing at childbirth. It's like where the taint, it basically rips open, like on some women.
Ow!
Oh, could we?
And that,
Ow! Ow!
Oh, yeah.
That's for real.
My poor
I have 3
taint.
kids. That's for real. For real.
that is not hot."
Also, there is a common misconception that vaginas can, like, so unless you're putting giant things up there, they go back to normal. Like, they do not, like, end up as wide gaping things. Like, they actually do retain a lot of their flexibility, because that area of your body actually produces more collagen than most other areas. So that's a misconception. But some people are naturally bigger than others, and there's stuff for that.
All right.
Good to know. Oh, here you go. This is this will be interesting. All right. Is it weird that I'm turned on by the thought of my wife/husband having sex with another girl or guy?
I know there's a meme about it, but
No.
Not weird at all.
No.
I'm not curious where that stems from.
Sex is fun, and you want to.
Jealousy, that's what it stems from.
Right.
Oh no, he's saying they're asking if it's weird that they feel that way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, this person's
So, yeah,
asking.
For a reason.
So what I'm saying is like the misconception of like it not being weird would probably because like, hey, it's not me. Like I'm not comfortable with that. It makes me jealous. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the kind of feeling that wouldn't, like you would feel. But if you don't feel weird about that, obviously you don't have that jealousy feeling or like blah blah blah.
I always tell people, like, if it's consenting adults, like, do your thing. Like, if you want to watch your partner go at it with somebody else, by all means, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as long as
I'm not gonna
you all,
shame it, but I'm not gonna lie and like pretend like it's not weird to me. But I'm not gonna shame someone for it.
Yeah.
To me, it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know why. I can't put my pinpoint on it. Pinpoint.
It's a matter of perspective.
It just
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah. Like it I don't know. Like it for me to be like open sexually, it took me time to get here. It took a lot of like reading and learning and how to handle your emotions and communicating and all that kind of stuff. Like it took time. It's not like a like I thinking back to when I was in college, my mindset and how I viewed things was 1000% different from where I'm at right now. 1000% different.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of the growth from opening up to being poly for the last 17 years has been realizing that when I do have those moments of jealousy, finding out where they come from, and a lot of times it's FOMA, it's the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So, hey, I want to be doing that with you. Why aren't we doing that? Or, oh, you have that new relationship excitement. Where did the excitement go in us? And stuff like that. And then you have to realize, okay, well, let's take a look and figure out where the real source of this is. Let's communicate about this and let's work on it.
Nope.
It also be like a jealousy factor of like, what if this person gives me something that I can't? You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I mean, with that, you can view it in the sense of like you're allowing your partner to experience something they wouldn't have experienced with you, like a gift, basically. Like here, this is for you. Enjoy this. You know what I mean?
that's where boundaries come in. That's where, like, as a couple, you say, well, there's certain things that I want to share with you that I don't really want to share with somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
So you create those boundaries so that those things are still special between you.
Exactly. Yep.
But but also on the upside, the
More
STDs aren't the only thing you can bring home. You can bring home new techniques and new lessons and apply them and say, hey, me and Casey learned this new thing and she showed it to me. I would like to try it with you. Maybe it'll make our sex life better. Or maybe you'll find out you enjoy it.
I thought for sure you were gonna say you can bring home babies. That was I thought you were going with that.
I mean, you could.
Same thing.
Fortunately, the police are preoccupied. It might take a while before you get caught, but
So I feel like a lot of that concern where, like, is it weird that I would feel like I would be into my partner sleeping with somebody else comes from the negative connotation that has been given to the idea of someone being a cuck. And I absolutely think, like, you know what? If that's your kink, if that gets you off, then there's nothing wrong with it. But I feel like there's so much of that now where, like, oh, well, he's a cuck. Like, he wants to see his wife get banged by somebody else. It's like, well, that's none of your business. And if that's his thing, who cares?
I don't know. Even before that meme came up, I still probably feel kind of weird about it. I think.
It's really a matter of it just really depends on the people and the person. I think the people that are more like self-conscious, like not less self-conscious and more like accepting of like, hey, sex is a thing I can even get off to someone having sex. It's just like watching say if you're dating a porn star, you're watching your porn star partner having sex on a porn site. Like, are you okay with that? Hopefully, it's their job, but at the same time, it's like you're still watching someone else fuck your partner, right? Yeah. So you got to be okay with that. It's all a matter of the communication and the people. Some people are more of a streamline when it comes to their partners, which, I mean, more power to you. But it's just a matter of perspective, really. It's just you gotta find the partner that's okay with that, or vice versa. It's just some people are okay with it, some people aren't. You just can't judge them.
So, like, imagine you were with somebody, your partner, and she wanted to see you have sex with somebody else. Would you be okay with that?
If you're into that and you're okay with that and you truly believe she wouldn't have an issue with it, absolutely. But it has to be agreed on by both parties. It has to be understood, accepted, fine, and know what the aftermath could potentially hold.
I was
if
asking
you're asking for personal, then no, I would not be okay with it.
Wait, you wouldn't be okay with your female partner watching you sleep with another?
No, because that's exactly what my ex-wife tried to do to justify her. Like,
I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue.
Over 40 affairs in like 2 years. It was a lot. And then she tried to justify, like, well, go sleep with somebody else. I'm like, nah, dude, like, we have kids together. That's the only reason I'm even still here.
That's a different thing. She's just trying to justify her cheating.
Yeah, she was trying to, like, change you, basically, like, to what she wanted the relationship to be.
That's what it was, yeah.
It's like being, it's like having a partner who's monogamous or polyamorous. There's a difference. Like, people who are polyamorous can have a lot more available, or more of an open mindset to the ideas.
Sure.
Monogamous people probably aren't as much, if at all. So it just really varies on the person's own sexuality.
No.
But those aren't static things. Like, I was once heavily monogamous, and that's not the case anymore because that changed. So, I mean, that's something else. Like, you if you want to be something else, you can be. You just have to take the steps to actually do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be fine with hooking up with some other person's girlfriend, but I probably wouldn't want to watch my girlfriend hooking up with some other guys. What does that mean?
So,
half in, or?
So if your girlfriend said, I want to watch you sleep with somebody else, would you be okay with her watching you sleep with somebody?
Yeah, I wouldn't care.
Of course. You're like, hey.
It's always the other way around.
Yeah, see the other way around.
But I'd be like, but I don't want to watch you do it because I'm a double standard guy.
Yep, that's where it comes in. It's always the other.
See,
That's where the conversation ends.
I know my partner, and I really expect it to end up like those two old guys in the Muppets up in the balcony. So,
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Like, boo, you're doing it wrong. Boo.
he overhand me.
I know. It starts out being like, oh, you're doing good. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing good. You're doing okay. Yeah, you're doing terrible.
He's better with me.
Oh, shit. All right. Anyone else for that topic before we move on to the next one? No. How do you break out of the nice guy role?
You have to be given a reason, to be honest.
Can you explain the nice guy role to me?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
Fuck, I don't know.
He's like, I'm not one. I don't.
Okay, for me, the nice guy role is literally
The nice guy is
Bro,
like
what?
the guy.
for
Oh,
everybody.
Kevlar, what?
The nice guy's like the what people would call the simp now, like the person who's like always like agreeing or being like the guy that
Oh,
guy or
shit.
girl that they go to whenever they have a problem, or if they talk about their crushes to you but you secretly like them, you know what I mean? Like, that's the nice guy.
So,
There's also
first of all,
that
I hate simps, like the word simp.
Oh, I despise it.
Right? I don't even really know what the fuck it means, honestly, but
It's just generation annoyance.
right?
Right? Okay, so it's not just me.
it's like a simp is basically a guy who wants to be nice to a girl, and everybody else is ragging on him, right? That's
okay.
This is going to turn the younger generations into just complete assholes to women. I hate
There is also
Chivalry has already been dead. What are you talking about?
exactly. Yeah, it's just getting worse.
there is
It's
also
just a
that
new
connotation.
term.
Hold on. Ask her what?
There's that connotation that guys like to say they're a nice guy. Oh, I'm the nice guy. I would never do this, do that. And then they're like the complete opposite of a nice guy.
And with those, yep.
I mean,
Let me redeem my nice guy points for sex. Wait.
I've collected enough. They said they didn't expire till next year, so I won't be a dick if I don't.
So
I've seen a lot of
why
the nice
you
guy
would not want to
concepts.
be nice.
Exactly.
Like that's what I don't get. Like women, I think maybe they confuse like someone being meek or like not confident with being nice. Like women like guys being nice. We always want you to be nice, but we don't want you to be like a doormat.
That's what
Exactly.
people say when they say nice guys. I think most people associate it with a man without a backbone, basically. Yeah, that's not assertive, which some women do like that. Overall,
I wouldn't say
when
that
they
either.
say-
Like,
Yeah,
I
like the
consider
women like
myself a
us.
pretty nice guy. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm dating them, friends, whatever, like whoever it might be. Like, I always open the door for women. Even if I'm taking somebody out, like
I
I
open the
always
door
pay.
for everybody.
Like,
What's an actual nice guy?
like
the actual nice guy.
you're just being a nice person, but like it comes to a point to where when they start abusing it, like I had this one that I tried to date for almost 2 years that kept playing me back and forth. Then I became an asshole like after 2 years of it, and I just got fucking tired of it. It's like she's just like, you're such a terrible person. Why? Because I refuse to let you use me. Like,
Yeah.
I think
So
most nice guys start. They eventually bounce back and they're like, okay, I'm not going to be that person anymore because they learned it's bad for you, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm a nice person to everybody else. It's just like her. I just cut it off to her. Like, no, I'm not going to take your kids out to Chuck E. Cheese. No, I'm not going to come hang out with you. No, I'm not going to go do this stuff.
I mean,
because you're just going to continue to play me.
that's like for me that's a little much. Like I would not even do that. I'm nice up to a point. Like if I'm being overly nice and I'm not getting this is gonna sound fucked up, but if I'm being overly nice and I'm not getting anything in return for it, then there's no point in me being overly nice. You know what I mean? So like I'm just gonna be nice, not overly nice, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why put the effort in
personality
if you're
flaw.
not feeling that same.
Yeah, exactly,
return?
exactly.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
So like it's not about
Question was about getting out of the friend zone, wasn't it?
Well,
so it's not really about not being a nice guy. It's about like, knowing when
Kevlar.
that isn't actually doing anything.
Yeah. Kevlar?
Sure.
well, I was gonna say with the how do you break out of the nice guy role, and a lot of it is you really can't if you're already the nice guy, and a lot of that is like you're going to be the guy who's put in a lot of effort. You've been overly generous with listening, to being the shoulder to lean on. Even once they like if it's a girl that you're the nice guy too, but you want to date or something, a friend zone kind of concept in a sense. But you put a lot of time and effort into being the nice guy. Breaking that is tough. What you need to do is gather that intel, learn what you've done and how you kind of like just became the shoulder to lean on, kind of take that into stride and move on, because breaking the nice guy thing is hard, and I don't really have advice on that.
Sure.
But
Wait, why?
Ask her out. If she says no, then move on.
well, that's what I was gonna say too. A
Yeah.
lot of the girls who are like into nice guys too, majority of the time, because everyone says girls love a guy who can, kind of be a dick and blah blah blah. I mean, I'm
Sure.
just saying stereotypes, But a lot of the girls who are into the nice guys too afraid to ask her out majority of the time, and the nice girls kind of the same way. She doesn't want to ask him out, or so it's like it's a repeated cycle, and you get to that point where you're like, oh man, like I think I'm way too in deep as the nice guy, and you just got to move on and learn not how to do that again.
Nah, hey!
It's,
I always feel like
Nalene, what's
people-
up?
I don't know if you
Sorry.
can hear.
Oh no, you're good.
I'm gonna say like people are
Yeah,
people are
his
looking for, like,
his
the
word
right
but's
content.
not muted.
Yeah, on the on the website, Nalene, just mute your microphone on there. Just click the microphone button, and then use Discord voice chat.
Got it.
There you go. So chat said so the question implies they're wanting to change for someone else. Fuck that. Keep being yourself and change the company you keep, which I I agree with. Like, just be yourself.
Yep.
Stop trying to be something that you're not, basically. Like,
Sometimes,
But you can fall into that just by being the character flaw of accidentally being overly nice, or you care, or you want
Yeah.
to be chivalrous, and like it's not like you're trying to. You might just not realize that you're being like a little over the top with generosity or doing things, or how chivalrous you are.
But why are you trying to get out of the nice guy role? That's
Right?
what I'm trying to understand.
if
Because like,
people-
because the toxic guys like make them feel like shit for like being nice.
I think it's a mix
Like-
of that, and I think it's a mix of the girls just being like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with this," or "You're too nice," or "You're too this," and I think it probably, and again, I'm just making this assumption because I know with being a woman and being a nice woman, I've gotten this enough. I think it almost has the same effect maybe on men, where it's like, "Fuck, I've been the nice guy for so long, and it's kicked me in the ass how many times? Screw it, I'm gonna be the asshole like the rest of them," you know.
Well,
like
that
fuck
and
being the asshole though. Just like be yourself. Like at the end of the day, you just go for what you want. Like if you're the nice guy and you keep being nice towards someone and you're like hoping something's gonna change, nothing's gonna fucking change. It's like, so just like just be assertive, go for what you want, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like fuck it, just move on. Like it shouldn't be that hard, but I guess people just hope for the best until like something works out magically.
Yeah.
They
Like-
don't say anything.
Guys are afraid. They're just afraid. Like a nice guy equals a guy that's in that position because he doesn't have the courage to just be upfront about it. You don't have to be an asshole. I think there's two categories: nice guys and then good guys. I think
Oh,
nice
yeah.
guys turn to good guys.
Yeah.
Like-
oh, I'm gonna be assertive and just ask for.
Be nice, but also like get what you want out of the like relationship, friendship, whatever. So like if you want to date them, ask them out. Like don't just sit there and be nice and hope that magically one day it's going to happen. Like fucking take some initiative, sack up and ask them out.
So I've seen this happen, and on the other end of the spectrum, imagine being the nice guy for so long, and they always rely on you for, whatever's bothering them, and finally you buck up and you're like, you know what? I'm actually into you. I really like you. You've been the nice guy for so long that might come off as some sort of betrayal on your friendship, and they're like, oh shit, like was this the whole reason you were nice to me? And like, so the nice guy thing can be pretty toxic once you ball up and like say what you want.
Which
Or
is
you run into the ones like the one that I chased for 2 years. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's try for like a week," and then they disappear for a month or two, and then they call you back because they expect something. And I let it go on for too long because I was too nice, and I
Sure.
You were
same.
you were very nice. Like
So I
too
feel like
nice.
there's something else as well, and I think it's a maturity level thing. I think younger girls are like, oh, I don't really like nice guys, but women who understand relationships and understand the things that we need out of relationships, people who are mature enough to understand what they require, do want someone who's nice.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. I want somebody that like cuddles and does back rubs and head rubs and fucking I don't know. Yeah. My
Good
God.
person.
Ugh, man.
I think
I'm not even gonna do.
what it is who's calling you the nice guy or the nice girl, whatever the case may be, the nice person. And if it's multiple people, sometimes it'll get to a point where you need to have self-realization. Yeah, you should be yourself, but if you are being nice all the time too much, you're going to get walked on. And that's another thing you have to have. You have to have notify it yourself, saying, okay, you know what? I am getting walked on all the time because I'm being this person. I need to know where my limit is and not go too above and beyond of this nice guy thing that everyone's saying that I'm being. So yeah, it's good to be a good person or a nice person, but don't go above and beyond being that person if you're going to continue getting walked on, because it's going to keep happening. So you got to find that balance.
True. That's very true.
There are people that would recognize the nice guy and take advantage of them just because they go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Free lunch?
So
Yeah, exactly.
someone in chat said, I don't see why you'd want to break out of that. I think nice guys are hot, minus the simp label that guys who are nice people are hot, as long as they know when to turn it to a dom role when needed.
Hell
That's just me. It's like be nice, but
Most nice
when
guys
it's
know how to
called
do that.
for, get real dom mode.
From my
It-
experience,
I don't
That's
know.
the downfall of
I
that.
feel like actual nice guys can turn that on though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
Yeah.
that's like
Absolutely.
If you're decent at role playing, yeah.
Trust me. Hell yeah. They can be. Oh yeah.
Once you get that frustration out, you're like, I finally got it.
Have it? They have to evolve into that. They don't just have it. How would they evolve, right?
Yes, they do.
It's learn
I
it.
feel-
It's also
Built up.
behavior.
Just because you're a nice guy doesn't mean like you can't show dominance over like in the bedroom, because the bedroom's a whole different scenario than like out in public and normal shit.
Yeah.
That balance.
And you've imagined it for probably a while, so you've had plenty of mental practice of jerking the girk
The
to.
logic line I'm following is like, if you're a nice guy, you're probably this question is rooted in struggling with women, I'm assuming. So if you're a nice guy, you're probably having a hard time struggling with women. You're not getting sex. So how can you be a dom in the bedroom if you're not having sex? And how do you develop something that you don't
I think
have?
you're thinking about it all wrong. Like people,
Yeah, I
guys
think-
still get sex.
Is there a difference?
Get walked on a lot, but
Wait.
About the people that complain about it. So I'm like, there's so many people that are nice guys complaining that I feel like that's kind of showing they don't get as much sex as they want.
So maybe it's so.
Go ahead, Jojo.
I was just gonna say, well, I mean, I don't. First of all, the idea that we're not getting as much as we want of something is kind of just unrealistic. Like, we can't get everything we want. So you might want to have sex with 7 women, but realistically, you might only have sex with 2. And there's a level of understanding that you have to have that it's not just what you want, it's what other people want as well. So that has to be reciprocated. And the other thing about like how a nice guy can turn it around in the bedroom, like my husband doesn't let me carry groceries. He opens the door for me. He doesn't let me carry heavy things. He does all of the like stereotypically male things to do around the house. But there's a switch that kind of like gets turned on when it comes down to the bedroom, because there you can be more than one type of person, and you can be dominant without being an asshole. So it's just a matter of like figuring out, whether you actually are a dominant person and accepting if you are a dominant person, or if you're not, accepting that you're a submissive person as well.
Absolutely.
It's the same. It's the same. It's like the guy concept of that, the female concept idea of lady in the streets, freak in the sheets kind of thing. So you gotta, it goes both ways. You just gotta know how to play it right.
True.
I think the big thing you got to remember with some of these nice guys is it's a lack of success that prevents them from building the confidence they need to take that step of saying, hey, I like you. I would like to turn this into something else. I'd like to grow it. You give them some successes. You let them grow into their personality. And it wouldn't be surprising if some of them do take that assertive stance of being a dom.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you this is kind of a twist on the topic. So we were talking about like being nice and how to talk to people and blah blah blah. So it's kind of along the same lines, but how do you communicate with somebody that you just want to fuck? Like just right out the gate on a dating app.
I just want to have sex.
I don't want a relationship. I'm not looking for anything. This is what I want. Black and white, plain and simple. Boom. I just want to fuck. That is it. If you want something else.
NSA.
Do not lead anybody on. Just be like, hey, I want to fuck.
So
Scroll through a dozen.
Keep your NSA.
You'll get examples.
So should they open the conversation with that?
Yes.
No.
I think they should.
Like
Absolutely.
like first message should be wanna fuck.
Nah, not first message.
No, but it should be on your profile.
Are you talking
Hey,
about
how are you?
dating
Along the
apps?
way.
If you're not looking to lead somebody on, like just be like, hey, I'm not here looking for a relationship with you, but you're hot. Let's just have a good time together.
Let's go smash uglies. Let's go.
Literally.
Are you down for that or you're not?
Yeah.
Wait, how many minutes has that worked for? I want to know the truth.
In my
You can-
dating profiles, I have listed ethical non-monogamy.
Yeah.
And when we start a conversation, we'll get one or two like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Blah, blah, blah. I assume you read my profile.
That's different, right? Ethical non-monogamy is not the same thing as I just want to fuck. Is it?
NSA is actually the same thing as I just want to fuck. So no
Yeah.
strings
Yes.
and and you put that on your profile, and if I swipe on you and I read that, then it means that I know what you're about. You don't want any strings. So you can start off the conversation with, let's go hang out.
Are we talking about like
approach, but I'm kind of conflicted on it because I feel like I've led conversations where I just want to be like friends with benefits, and I didn't go cold in with just like want to fuck. Like we talked and we established some kind of at least friendship level vibes. And I'm like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and they're like, oh, cool. Or they'll be like, that's not what I'm looking for. But I feel like if I wouldn't just went in like, hey, you want some fuck? Like I feel like that wouldn't work.
You want some fuck?
Not even good English.
No, there needs to be some tact. You have to say, hey, how are you? You know, like just normal, like human being conversation.
No, there doesn't. Looking
Hit
for
me up.
CNC, I'll be standing on the corner.
Really?
Somebody really hit me up and was just like, hey, baby, you want some fuck? I'd probably ignore them.
I'm sorry, but I'm stealing that and making that a t-shirt.
You want fuck on me?
You want some fuck?
Wait, okay, so the initial question though, are you talking about strictly through dating apps, talking to the person about it, or
pretty much just dating apps.
Dating apps, you should put it in your profile.
So let's say you are looking for somebody to hook up on a dating app. Oh, this is a good topic. You're looking for somebody to hook up on a dating app. How do you approach it without being off-putting? Because like if you start the conversation with, hey, wanna fuck, it's instantly like, oh, come on, all right, fuck boy, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
They're more than likely gonna ask you, so what are you looking for? Well, I'm not looking for a relationship.
Yeah. Nope.
And that kind of says what you're looking for.
Or like say, hey, did you read my profile? Because if you put it in there, if you put NSA or just looking to have fun, then that's pretty clear. I'm looking to have fun.
I'm curious to see.
Yep.
Well, and then if you don't have it in your profile, or if you do, people don't read it. That's true. People look. I mean, the initial thing on dating apps and such is physical. Like they see pictures of you. If they like that, go ahead and do your little swipe. If you match, okay, let's look a little deeper. Oh, okay, this is a bot. I'm gonna get rid of this, unmatch it. You know. So it's just a matter of like, okay, yeah, right. Bots and prostitutes on there. That's actually a thing. There's a lot. But it's just like a matter of, okay, I mean, so sure, you don't have to read it right away. But it's good to have it there, being open and upfront right away, so people don't like, oh, huge left turn. What do you want? You want to get married? Like, hold on. It's just a matter of, okay, sure, you can even just swipe them if you match. Sure, okay, you live in Transylvania, you're not real. So it's just a matter of.
Not true. We have a Transylvania County down here.
So yeah, it's just reading the bios do help even after the fact. It's just like, and if you don't match, you don't match. Unmatch it, good, done, go.
I'll say the beauty of dating apps is you can unmatch whenever you want.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Nope.
It's just more funny when you see the same account multiple times.
So, the original topic we were talking about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nolly. I mean, what?
Fun.
He froze.
Oh.
Oh no.
It's a PowerPoint slideshow.
Eat the hamsters on the wheel.
There you go.
I gotta go stop a World War III upstairs with my kids. I'll be right back.
All right.
Don't lie, he's joining in.
Right. Oh, Nolene, you still having issues? We can come back to it.
Yeah, just be upfront with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, it'll pop up at one point. So.
I mean, I've seen plenty of profiles that are, I mean, they're about as blunt as can be. It's like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for this. And I'm just like, good. You're being open and honest about it.
Yep.
That's what you have to do. If you dick around, if you come off already bullshitting someone or giving them the wrong impression, all that's going to make the person go is, well, if you're doing this to me now, what are you going to do 2 months down the line? What is this going to be? Nah, no.
Exactly. And I feel like everybody that's already like knows what they're doing and what they want with the friends with benefits or no strings attached, they already know like the whole saying spiel where it's just like we're already like, I'm upfront about it, let's just do it, fuck it, right? You know,
Exactly.
Literally, fuck it.
Yeah.
basically.
isolate. That makes sense. I feel like some women would be like, and then they would report you. If you have reports, you're banned from the app.
Well, fuck it then. You make a new account. You got multiple Facebooks. You got multiple like Bumble accounts and stuff.
No, those accounts are tied to your SIM card.
What?
Yeah.
You can fake
there's
Tinder account.
There's ways to get around it. I mean, as many bots as I have on those fucking dating apps, there's
Pennsylvania.
There is clearly an easy way to make multiple accounts.
Yeah.
It's like, dear God, how do you not get rid of all these
cards?
Apparently. All right, so how do you feel about men being vulnerable around you, opening up, and being honest about their thoughts and feelings?
Cheers to that.
Yeah,
you gotta
be
oh,
open.
wait, hold on.
Please do.
Cheers. Yeah.
Take a swig.
Cheers.
So is this
You're a
gonna
sex bot?
segue into whoever cried for sex?
What?
What is
this
it?
gonna segue into who has ever cried for sex?
Cried for sex?
I'm cried for sex.
Cried.
No. Like, give me some fucking ass.
Like, hey, would you just fuck me, please?
I'm so sorry. Just fuck me.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I feel really weird when anyone is emotionally vulnerable with me. Like, I like it. I appreciate that they trust me enough to allow themselves to be vulnerable. But I never know, like, should I hug them? Should I say something?
Oh, sure.
Like, what do I do? So it always makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm like, okay. And it sucks, but
Fine.
I just, like, I don't always know what that person wants when they're being vulnerable. And I think that's where the confusion comes. Like, if they're sharing this with me, do they want me to give advice or comfort or sympathy, empathy? Like, so because I don't know what they want, it freaks me out.
I agree with that. I think if it's like over vulnerable and it's like information overload and you don't really understand like where to start, or like that can just be too much. But like you always got to appreciate somebody being honest with you and like telling you about their woes, their feelings, what bothers them, what they like.
Yeah, like if somebody has that comfort
you gotta
level with
respect
you and they can show that side of them. I mean, I know I'm not I don't like to show anybody that I'm vulnerable. So it's like if you get to that point with someone and you can, it's like even if you as the person on the other end don't really know how to deal with it, I think it's still a positive thing to have happen.
Yeah.
I'm okay with people being emotionally open with me. I'm okay with giving them comfort. I'm okay with hugging, but don't try and touch my penis. I don't accept crying for sex.
Oh hell no.
I'm fine with people being emotional and like open and vulnerable around me. The only time I have a problem with it is if they are trying to purposely get like sympathy and stuff from you. Like that's the main reason they're doing it, is they want you to be like, oh it's okay, like nah,
Post fight.
nah, like stop with the guilt trip stuff, like stop with the just tell me how you feel and then I'll provide advice or support or whatever.
There's some people who there's some people who simply do need a hug or someone to talk to, but then there's also people who would take advantage of that exact same thing. They'd be like, oh, it's my fault, but I'm gonna cry saying, oh, this happened to me. It's like you can't sympathize with someone who clearly was in the wrong of something that's happened to them, but they'll still search for that sympathy anyway. So you just gotta be careful and cautious about those kind of people.
Like I have more sympathy for someone that is legitimately upset and they're kind of upset to themselves than I do to the person that's like going to everybody, crying their eyes out, wanting everybody to like give them sympathy.
Yeah. Like imagine like on Sunday when we hung out, right? Dude walks up to us and he's like, hey man, listen, I'm from Cleveland. I'm stuck here trying to get a Greyhound ticket. Can I just get a beer? And you're like, oh, okay.
The Greyhound ticket.
You know what?
Yeah, right. And then next thing you know, he's telling us about his time in Iraq. And then you're like, oh shit, thank you for your service. Yeah, let me buy you a beer. And then it's like, oh wow, you're just opening up way too much. Stop. Don't be the
So-
vulnerable.
Dude, it was. I don't know if that sounds like the guy with a gas can being like, "I need $1 for gas." I'm like, "I can get you some gas." They're like, "No, I need $1."
You'd be like, nah, no,
Well, you can't smoke gas.
I had a friend come over after she broke up with her awful boyfriend. Like, this guy was a dick that was using her financially. And like I said, I don't know how to handle people being emotional. And she started like straight up ugly crying. And I
Oh
was
no,
just like,
not ugly cry.
oh gosh, she was ugly crying. And like, I know that ugly crying is like when you don't give a shit and you feel comfortable with somebody and like you just let it go. But I was just like, I'm sorry. It'll be
You see
okay.
that like awkward pat on the back, like
I don't know what to do.
I had a friend back in the day who was with a horrible guy. I think they finally broke up now, but she was telling me things like he would pull a gun on her and all this stuff, and I'm like, girl, you need to leave him. And she would just start bawling, and I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. I can't help you. All I can tell you is like, you need to leave him.
Yeah.
I think so. Specific to the question with men being vulnerable, I think, in my opinion, a lot of women say, I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's a lot of they say what they want, but they don't mean what they say. Because I've been vulnerable once or twice in my life with women I've dated, and I've heard it from other guys as well. So it's not just like a me thing. That when men are actually vulnerable with women, they change, right? Because men are supposed to be like the emotional rock, you know. And like if you see a guy cry, you're like, of course you're gonna be like, oh, it's fine, you know, I got you. But I feel like some women subconsciously look at their guy kind of like, you're not the solid rock that I thought. Like, it's not their fault. It's subconscious, right? So,
And those are shitty women.
That's toxic shit.
Yeah.
Those are shitty women.
So
I feel
like
a lot of women
I
will have vulnerability. Like when you get married, oh, he cried, it's vulnerable. But I feel like that's wanting selfish vulnerability. Like you want it to mean something because he's crying for you, not because he's being vulnerable.
So I kind of see what you're talking about, because like if, let's say, I don't know, let's say somebody hasn't done something pretty much the entire time you've known them. Let's say, I don't know, let's say fucking, I don't know, Rhythm has never smoked weed around you and you've known him for like 5 years, okay? All of a sudden you come over and you're having a conversation, he just busts out weed and starts smoking it. You're gonna be like, whoa,
What the fuck?
all right. Sweet. Like your view of him is going to change a little bit. So like for guys that all of a sudden they've been this rock the whole time and now they're vulnerable, it does kind of slightly, ever so slightly, sometimes change the view of like how people view them. I don't know.
I also think, like, it depends on like what the emotional like thing is too. Like what made that person emotional? Because like I've never went through it or like personally gone through it, but I've seen like other people go through it. Like even like my dad, like I've never seen that man cry in my life until like my grandma passed away, and like this
It's hard to deal with, man.
Yeah, so like
It's your rock.
yeah, and so like I saw my mom like for the first time like surprised, and also just like I had to hold it down. So it's just like, or some of my friends, like they've lost their parents and like they just went to their girl and started crying. And it's just like, it depends on the emotional toll and what's happening. Or like if a homie dies, like you just like cry. But if it's like for the smallest little shit, it's like,
yeah,
bro, like who
like,
cares?
my PlayStation broke.
You also have to keep
Like,
into
come on.
consideration that a lot of people haven't experienced like a lot of bad things or a lot of death in their early life. So when it comes later, it can be a massive shock.
Yeah, true.
You know, me
Yeah.
growing up, I had a lot of things that I had to deal with early, so it kind of became a natural thing, and I grew to more celebrate the person or celebrate their life instead of letting it tear me down. I'm like sad forever and ever. You know, like some people just haven't had a lot of experiences, and you got to let them iron it out, because we did at a young age.
I think it also depends on like frequency. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
like I've seen my husband cry before, and it was something I honestly never thought I would, because that man's like a robot.
Oh, lucky.
I've
That's
seen
fucking
him
cute.
and it didn't change my way of like thinking about him. He's laughing back there. However, if he was constantly crying and if he was constantly being vulnerable and emotional, then I would feel a little weird, because even me as a highly emotional person, I'm not constantly crying. So like I'd be like, okay, well, what's going on?
Can we
I think
get
that
away from the crying aspect maybe? Because it's not always being vulnerable is not always about being
Well, it was specified in the
emotional.
I think.
that's I think that everybody goes through I think that everybody goes through vulnerable points, that's for sure, but it's learning how to cope with being vulnerable at the same time. Because like something crazy could happen and you just don't expect it and you're like, what the fuck, like, and that's when you become vulnerable. But it's up to you yourself to make those necessary steps to fix that issue.
Do you think society is nicer to guys than girls in terms of vulnerability? I feel like if guys are vulnerable,
it's
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, for sure. Like we still have a long way to go on that front.
There's a lot of like the whole machismo thing is still a thing. Like guys are still looked down upon for being emotionally vulnerable, and that's a society thing, and we just have to shift that.
Yep. I mean, I will fully admit, like, I cry. Fuck it. Like when Disney movies. Disney movies.
Dude.
Oh man.
Okay.
God damn it.
Every time when
You just sit there.
Shut the fuck up,
God
Siggo. That was
damn.
one time. One
Fucking
time.
Fox and the Hound
Inside.
ruined me, dude.
Oh
Every time
god.
Fox and the Hound was way worse than
I'm
mine.
not a very emotional person, but like normally, like in my marriage, I was always the cool-headed, I always had a plan kind of person. But when my youngest was born and he spent like a month in the NICU, that was the time where like I was just like emotionally not there, and my ex-wife had to actually like pick up the slack. So that's why I was saying, like, can we get away from just the crying aspect? Because I mean, I was technically emotionally vulnerable because I was worried about him.
Yeah.
So, and I
That's
couldn't.
true.
I literally could not function. Like I couldn't go to work. I literally lived at the hospital, like just chilling with him. So
It wasn't a permanent state for you. I feel like there's a difference. Like if it's a permanent state, then there's something else there. But like moments of vulnerability, everybody has them, and we should accept them and appreciate them.
I would just say, as a new vulnerability, like now that I'm a father and I have a 1-year-old daughter, like strong dad moments in movies make me tear up. And it's like, what the fuck? And I can actually feel the strong chemical reaction to my body. I can feel like my throat tightening. I'm like, like what's happening? And then like I'll just like look over at Kate. She's not seeing me tear up. I'm like, thank God. But no, I can't control it. It's like it's new, and it actually makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm like, where is this coming from?
Kevlar, it's all right. It's all right. You can open up to me. It's all right, Kevlar.
Dude, I cried. I can't. I got to remember what it was, but like, it wasn't Onward. It was a strong dad Disney movie moment that just, I don't know. It was like, oh.
Like, okay, guys, would you feel more comfortable crying in front of a woman or one of your guy friends?
Guy friends, 100%.
depends on what it's.
I'd say
about.
guy friends
A
for
woman.
me.
Definitely depends.
Guys
Really?
are dicks about it. Guys are still dicks about it.
I mean,
it's still
guy-
that stigma
yeah.
you gotta break. So women don't actually care to listen.
You're,
for the most
I mean,
part.
I understand that. I understand, but like when it was like, the only time I've cried in front of my guy friends was at like a family friend or a family member had passed, and it was like we all just embraced, like it wasn't no bashing. So I haven't been in that instance, so I can't say like nobody's just like melting somebody else down for crying in public.
Like,
It depends on the situation.
for someone to be vulnerable enough and comfortable enough around you to like feel those emotions and like let those emotions out, like that for me, and I'm not sure why, it just makes me feel like closer to that person. Like we have a closer connection, like we can share that kind of stuff with each other, you know what I mean?
So like for me, if I get emotional and cry or whatever in front of guys, it's more for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for them to pick me back up and be like, kick me in the ass and be like, dude, it's gonna be fine. Let's go. But if I want to be just completely vulnerable and just be heard, then sure, why not your lady?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It all depends on what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to get something out of it. You're trying to get it out of your system. So you're trying to get something back out of it.
Yeah.
I think it
I would
depends on
feel
the
like
topic, too. So if it's like a guy, because this is gonna sound sexist, but women men don't know what it's like to be a woman. And the same goes vice versa. So if you're struggling with some man shit and you're crying about it, I'm not gonna go to a woman about it because she has no idea how it is to be a fucking man, right? You cry with your homies about that because they know what it is to be a dude. Like a lot of people are like, shut the fuck up, man. We don't care about your issues. We don't care about your feelings. You're crying, man up. They don't give a shit about that. But if you're with your boys, like they know how it is. So they're gonna be like, we got you. But I'm not gonna cry to a woman about like man issues.
I don't know. I
But
mean,
a woman can
my guy
sympathize.
friends or like my spouse, my ex-spouse coming to me about man stuff and like this and that. And I've never once thought anything different about him. I may not understand, but I can still support him and be there.
Like I'm just open with fucking everybody, male, female, it doesn't matter. Like I'm just gonna lay it all out there. Like if I'm venting or bitching about something, like I'm just gonna, like if I feel close enough to you that I can share that stuff, then I am very open about pretty much everything.
Oh hell yeah. And you know what's funny too is like I love to bitch, so like I welcome it. If you guys want to like just have a bitch sesh and we just complain about
Let's
life,
go.
like fucking DM me. Video message me in Discord. Let's just bitch about shit. If I'm
There you
free,
go.
I don't give a shit.
I'm down. Let's do it.
So, like, I'm pretty sure that most of the people on this panel, and I say this because I know most of the people on the panel, have never had a period. You've never felt cramps.
Excuse me? No.
Yeah.
Assuming?
I'm
No, I'm
pretty
kidding.
sure. I am most definitely assuming, considering the information that I have. But the point I was going to make is just because you guys have never had a period or had cramps doesn't mean that you can't like feel bad for us when we're, you know, curled up in the corner of the couch in pain.
Yeah.
I think we can all probably had some shit pains before that are pretty similar.
I
You
mean,
know, just saying. Just saying.
Dude.
So I mean, you can certainly sympathize with that, which means that we can, even though we may not understand what it's like to be a guy, we can understand what it's like to be a person and to be dealing with something that's making you unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So, see, Crazy, you submitted a topic and I wasn't sure how to word it. I didn't have time to like message you beforehand, but you said something about global opinion on sex and nature. What were you referring to with that?
Just outdoor. What people thought about outdoor.
Like sex outdoors?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all for that. Can't like
what's going on?
camping trip.
What's going on? Hell
I mean,
yeah.
right?
I'm bringing a camper.
It's not the place that matters. It's the population.
That ain't for me, man. And that ain't for me.
No.
There's no free
why
life.
No. I got anxiety, so
What
I
about glamping?
No
things
bears in the
going
woods.
in my head.
No nothing.
I'm
Hey,
thinking
bear
about
fucker.
if someone comes through, like if someone's watching, if someone's gonna like see us, if like what happens if the gust of wind just comes and I nut,
What if
like
they're into
automatic, like, I don't know. I don't know. I have too many things going in my
The
head.
window and a breeze rolls
Like
down.
what?
The wind is making you.
I don't know what's gonna
Like,
happen.
ooh, what's
What
that
happens if
breeze?
a bug comes
It's a
on?
spider.
Like I'm afraid of bugs. Like what happens if a bug goes on my dick? Like I don't want to think about it. I don't want to go outside. No,
There's a
no.
Lou, there's a country song called "There's a Skeeter on My Peter, Knock It Off."
Fucking Skeeter on my Peter.
Yeah.
Imagine a cheetah attacking you while you're fucking. Like, you're never gonna be able to yeah.
This is why you have to have a firearm or some sort of protection nearby.
That's-
No,
So
you
can,
don't
like,
shoot a
No,
a
you just
bug on your
you just
dick?
spin in circles while you're doing it. That way you keep a 360
shoot
view
my
going.
Imagine like you fucking you
Take one for the team. Cut it off.
looking around holding the pistol.
No, but Lou,
Yo,
you
that's
could
gotta
do, you
feel
could
some
do
type of way.
Hold on,
You gotta
keep
feel
looking.
good.
where you
Keep
get a
looking.
cabin, right? And you just do some outdoor like fire activities, cookout.
There
Then
you
you all
go.
go in the cabin. It's all like glass doors, wood, and like you don't have to worry about being outside. You can glamp, or you can go to a traditional campsite and just bring it like a pop up. You know, like
We
a little
still have
pop-up
the
tent.
essence of
It's gonna be
outdoor,
popping
yeah.
up. You know,
I
you
mean,
can-
I was
you can
joking,
glamorous
but
camp.
like honestly, like I did have one girl like fucking give me a hand job outside, and it was not. I don't think like I liked
over
it
the
that
pants,
much.
handsy.
Not over the pants,
What
like
do you mean
just
outside? Like outside and like outside, or like
yeah,
outside
outside.
your pants? Oh,
No, not outside my pants, but outside. And it was like I had anxiety. I had anxiety about it. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore, but like I had like so much anxiety over that shit. What?
Have you never had public sex?
No, only a hand job.
Oh
That's
my
it, and
God.
it gave me
Oh my
anxiety,
God.
and I said no. I don't want to do
Bro,
that
you were
ever
dying
again.
inside, weren't you? You were like, oh god, I bet it was like really difficult to get off.
Like,
though,
oh
'cause,
god,
like,
everyone can
all
see my
that
pee-pee.
pent up, like,
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
actually part of the fun.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. It really does. If
Don't
it's
join the
somewhere
military,
like,
man. I'll tell you what, boot camp, everybody sees your dick. Everyone. Everyone. Literally everyone.
there's
All I
a new plug-in for your water pump.
There you go.
yeah, right?
You don't have to worry about it after that, right? Just take that to the military with you.
All I know is when I go back to South Dakota to see my parents, I'm doing it in the middle of the Missouri River, and anybody downriver, I really hope you have good water treatment.
Oh god. Why is this water so cloudy? Wait, is that tadpoles?
Nah.
Are there tadpoles in here?
Public sex is hot. That fear of like that chance of being caught. It's like,
I mean, have you ever
Not
did
saying
it with
guilty
like
of
people
doing
watching?
things.
Like legit people watching, not just outside, but people watching.
I don't think that's as exciting as like the fear of getting caught.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
People
I get
have
that.
sex.
It's still
It's
exciting.
just like
though.
you're comfortable, I would hope at that point.
Yeah. Oh,
I've seen
hopefully.
people have sex.
Yeah, right. I'd hope you'd be comfortable.
Like right in the middle of the like and the main stage, like people by the tree just fucking at a music festival.
Yeah, you'll see them at festivals and public things like that. Drugs involved probably, but it's just the fact being that it's like if you're out in public, say out in the street in the city, like late at night, but it's not that busy, so you're like, you know, whatever, we're doing this. It's cautionary, but still doable. It's not impossible, but you still like in your mind, you're just like always thinking about looking around 360 to see if anyone's like looking or walking by anytime soon.
If you ever get caught having sex in your car in public,
You'll have public sex, guaranteed.
yeah.
Well, not in the car.
Well, if you do it
against
in the car and you get caught and the cops come up to you, just run out of the car in circles screaming bees and you're fine. Start acting like you're taking your clothes off because of bees and then be like, well, they're gone. That's crazy. You're fine.
just like skeeting, like, bees.
It's worked for me. I swear to God on my life I did that.
Wait,
I think it's the. Go ahead, Lou.
Wait, does car sex count as public sex or no?
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
it's not in a...
Oh, I thought it didn't. So
You have
okay,
windows
I
and
wanna
shit.
change
What about your tent?
Yeah.
What's your window tent?
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not
30,
good. Like you can
35
still,
all around.
you can clearly see inside. You can clearly see inside. There's no tint at all.
Lisa, you've had public sex. There
That's
you go.
Yeah. I'm thinking
I saw it.
outdoors, like
Oh, it's the car.
trees outside. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not partaking in that, but if it's in a car, I'm fine.
Catching an Andy
You can
and
get
smoking or something.
Car parked in your garage doesn't count though.
Oh, damn.
I'm
Called
not saying-
out. Called out. All right. Anyone else for outdoor public sex? How you feel about it?
The beach.
I think it's
Fuck the
natural.
beach. Oh, God. I
Beach
did the
is
beach
now.
one time. And like
Well,
every
sand just
position,
travels.
it's like sand everywhere.
It just hurts. It's just,
It's just
the worst type of
Oh,
You just have to have a tent.
It's sand and holes I didn't even know I had.
right. Like where'd that hole? Oh, okay.
I
guys.
think
I
I've discovered
actually-
it's Superman.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Exfoliate your exfoliate your dick.
Ow. Make pearls.
Sound very- I was gonna say, I actually watched a couple have sex on the beach one day. They didn't know that we were watching. We were actually there for a photo shoot. And clearly they had been out from like the night before.
Oh, shit.
And this poor man and this girl, so she's just laying there like just a dead fish, right? And he's like rabbit humping this poor girl. Like
Oh, God.
Oh
she's not making any noise. Like she's just there like, okay, this is my life. I'm having sex on the beach right now.
Bucket list item crossed
Yeah.
off. We're done.
Crossed off, she finished up, she put her clothes back on and she like left and the guy was just kind of like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, it's not always as glamorous as like indoor sex.
All right, you guys
Yeah.
ready?
I'd fuck in a hot spring. It's pretty hot.
What about one of those like bubble lakes with all the salt where you just float on top? Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be,
I don't even know what that is.
man,
Salt is drying.
it'd be
I'm just
like
kidding,
even
it's a
more
joke.
salty, right?
Yeah, right. Mm.
All right. How often? No, this is just a personal question. How often do you get screened for STDs?
Usually yearly.
Monthly?
or something.
Yearly, yeah.
One at a time. Konnichiwa, what'd you say?
Like at least yearly, but if I'm having sex often, which with Corona I'm not, sad face, then like pretty often, but at least yearly.
Okay. All right. Astro?
If I get tested monthly, just because I work at a strip club and you never fucking know. Like,
True. Yeah.
Expensive?
Yep.
How? That's damn.
I haven't been tested in 3 years.
Well,
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
because I'm married.
Yeah.
I don't. I've heard of guys that got cheated on. I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want this to happen to you, but guys get cheated on, they get an STD, even though they were.
Oh, not with this dick. Just kidding.
I usually just ask for it when I go in for a physical. I don't have sex with other guys, but like because we're not monogamous, like it could, it's an issue. We don't do unprotected sex either, but either way, it's like a paranoia thing for me. Like I'm super paranoid about getting an STD. So at least whenever I go in for my physical, which is once a year.
Depends on how often I have sex. I think how many new partners I have. Usually, if like in between partners, like different partners, I'll usually get tested.
Yeah, when I find a new partner, I will get screened as we start having the conversation about sex.
Have a conversation before sex? Shit. Yeah. So, yeah, it depends on your activity. If you're with the same person,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
as long as they're with the same person, you get to save the money, and not have to worry about it. But it's still a possibility. The more active you are, the more you should probably get checked.
So,
Print that shit out.
if you do exclamation point resources in chat, there's a Google like Word document I put together. It has resources like websites and stuff you can look up, free testing and stuff local to you. There's also stuff like dating apps, dating, sex, relationship podcasts, books, all kinds of shit on there. So, how often should you get screened for STDs, ideally? In an ideal world, let's say you had infinite money to do a full panel, how often should you
Every
get
time you give
Every month.
Every different partner.
every partner?
different partner, yeah.
Or if you have suspicions that they're cheating, or you're
Or if they're active elsewhere too. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Just
Say
bored, you're
monthly to
"You know
be on the
what?
safe
Pass, fuck it."
Yeah, if you're active monthly, or if I don't know, if you are going through multiple partners, definitely after each partner, just to be safe.
I think it's just like your car. You know what? After every 3,000 miles, go get your fucking checkup.
Yep. Gotta change that oil.
Speedometer. Yeah, it's a
Treat-
tattoo though.
Treat sex partners like new applicants for a job. You got to get that application in before you do it.
Background check.
Yeah, exactly. Get those background checks. Make sure they're up to date.
That's not too ridiculous. That's kind of
Check
how
the
we
credit.
run our operation. That's how we run our new relationships. Basically,
Make sure
we're gonna
there's
start a relationship. I get tested. I expect you to get tested.
Mhm.
My partner gets tested. She expects her partners to get tested.
Yep.
Like he points out, saying we should have at-home testing, but honestly, I feel like that stuff wouldn't be as accurate. I don't
It can
know
be.
something about it, but it sounds like there would be something more like a knockoff thing to just buy cheap.
Oh,
Look, if we can-
they are not cheap, that is for sure.
The Acme
If we
branded
can
ones.
DNA, like we can test for an STD and
Yeah, true.
Did you guys ever hear about that app that they have in Iceland where you like bump phones and it tells you like how many generations ago you were related? They should have one of those with HEPA compliance that like says you're STD compatible.
Oh,
That's actually something that people are trying to work on.
nice.
A lot of things is like people don't want to divulge that information, but if it's publicly known, like if you're I feel like they were trying to like get it to where if you have like a permanent death illness kind of like situation, not death illness, you know what I mean? Like if you have like AIDS or something like, you know, bad, like it's your obligation, like in a sense, like they want to actually have like a registry.
If your phone
Which
dies,
is not, it's not ideal, but you know, like,
Lucky actually just mentioned in chat that it's only expensive in the US, and it's because we don't have proper health care. Because everywhere else, people go in and like they just go in, get a test done, and they don't pay for anything.
Planned Parenthood. I never had to pay for one.
If you make an income, Planned Parenthood, you sometimes have to pay, but normally it is the cheapest option.
Yeah,
they usually are.
They usually
But
ask
they-
for like a tip, and then you're like, yeah, I can't today, sorry.
But they're also losing funding, so if we lose Planned Parenthood, guess what? A lot of us aren't going to be able to go get free tests.
Absolutely. STDs will spike in the U.S. afterwards.
These in birth rates.
Did you say they bump phones?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they use the NFC
What if
radio
your phone
transmitter.
is actually dead?
We can't bump uglies.
Then you can't bump uglies.
I just find a charging station. Be like, hold up. I got something. Hold on, I got a charging station. I can
Hold on,
move it.
I'm at 1%. I need 2 to turn it on because all these apps start.
Well, I mean, you should probably have your phone charged anyway. You don't know if they're going to turn into like a serial killer or something. You need to call someone to come get you. Just saying.
It's true.
Women can be crazy too.
I wouldn't mind if they serial killed these nuts.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh.
Wait. Would you be okay with that though?
Yeah, dude.
Are you?
Like-
Listen, I think
I mean-
Lorena Bobbitt's single.
Oh, God.
Come on, that's old.
Yeah, she cut your dick off.
One shower like.
Do you guys remember how like crazy it was when we found out about Lorena Bobbitt?
Oh my god, yeah.
I thought it was crazy that they put it back on him and then he did porn.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Really? Did they
That
call him
blew my
Franken
mind.
Dick? Really?
After 12
Yeah,
hours of his
but-
dick being not on his body, they reattached it and then
Yeah.
he ended up doing porn later.
Please tell me his porn name was Franken Dick, please.
What was
Had
it?
to be.
John Wayne Bobbitt, and the video was titled Uncut.
Was that a what? You cut out.
The video was entitled Uncut.
Oh.
Wait, does that mean he was re-circumcised or was that his first circumcision?
Oh.
Oh shit!
Wait, these are old jokes. Let's move on.
I just think it's funny he didn't learn his lesson. Like he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do porn." Like,
Right.
fuck,
Back at it.
yeah,
Fuck
well,
it.
Yeah,
I've lost it once. I can lose it again.
they just put it right back on. I'm fine.
Just reattach. It's science.
I think they took a donor like extra 3 inches too and made his just like massive. That's a joke. Let's move on.
$500. $3. Here's $500. Just
How?
for me.
How have movies, TV, and porn skewed how you view relationships, sex, etc.?
Terribly.
High expectations.
Yeah, it's probably ruined expectations for a lot of people if they aren't actually active to find out that it's not all like a normal thing. A lot of it can be kinks. A lot of it could be just nonsense.
Yeah, I mean,
Like using music and like TV shows, like really. If you're gonna like that whole persistence thing with women, like, oh yeah, just show up at our house with a boombox over her head saying how much you love her. Like, no, my dude, you're gonna be on a registered like sex offender list.
yeah.
Like
Let's get a restraining order.
If you think that you can deliver a pizza to a house and then suddenly start getting some head, you're wrong.
Oh my god.
It's terribly wrong.
Don't try to assume that.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
think?
What
Do you
about
think
Dick in
you're-
a box? Does Dick in a box work?
depends on how long you dated.
Or,
Depends on the situation.
Right?
or if you think you're gonna Conan that shit for 60 minutes straight, you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
yep.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest misconception is the way relationships are formed in movies and TV shows. Like that whole like cookie cutter shit. Like, oh my god, and like it creates unrealistic expectations of how relationships can start and be.
Oh, absolutely, it does.
Or we have our one big drama moment, or we're separated for a long time, and there's one big emotional, like, here is my, like, I'm going to do this big emotional thing, and all of a sudden all of our problems are solved and we live happily ever after. Fuck,
Exactly.
you gotta work on it. You're gonna keep working.
There's no Disney fairy tale happily ever after. There's no such thing.
Don't tell me that.
If you have a babysitter for your kids, don't assume your wife's going to be okay with bringing her to the bed all of a sudden. Don't assume that.
That's
It's
the
not
type of
happening.
relationship I want, though.
Also, it's probably not a good idea to try to have sex with your stepmom, stepbrother, stepfather. Like, you know, any of that.
What is with Pornhub and that shit? That shit wildin', bro. That nasty.
It's alright.
It's creepier when it's like, oh, teen with old man. It's like, no, that's illegal.
Yeah.
They're of age, but they're not the people they're portraying as. Don't try it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like there's like
Yeah.
no
I feel like just
stepbrother, stepsister, anything is real on Pornhub. It's all an act, but still, it is a very odd fetish.
Very.
Sure.
It's always front page, and I hate it. Like, bro, just get that shit out my face. No.
That's why you gotta go to categories.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like
And
I feel like with porn, it was just like you can just dive in like head first, don't give a fuck, RKO a pussy like no tomorrow, you know? Like the first time I thought you can just do that, and you're like, nope, that shit is nope, don't nope.
Yep.
And
Also,
yeah.
I feel like also the more that porn and cam models and everything become less taboo, the more taboo the fetishes are getting as well.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Regular shit, you know, just stop going way too far into it, you know? But and then movies as well. I don't know what other movies like other people be watching, but I be watching like the most depressing ass fucking relationship movies ever.
Why do you watch that?
Like, I don't know. I feel like
I
it's
love
just,
that shit.
it's more real to me. I don't know why, but like I always like the movies where the guy doesn't get the girl, or like just like lower your expectations all the way to the ground until you get bedrock. Like I love those movies, but because it just levels everything out that you see in every like all the
example movie or show.
Synecdoche, New York. That shit is depressing as
is
fuck.
Synecdoche?
I love it.
Oh,
My
Never heard of that.
favorite love movie of all time is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
dude,
Yes.
what an incredible
That
movie
too.
with Jim
Love
Carrey.
Actually.
Don't even get me started.
See, mine
That
is what
that is my
make
top 10.
Love
Eternal
Actually.
Sunshine.
I agree.
That's mine.
I hate romantic
Actually,
comedy.
it's good too.
I think people need to.
I
I think people need to take sex and love in films and television the same way as people need to stop assuming that, oh, because I can kill somebody in a video game, it's okay to do it and then blame it on the video game later on.
Right.
It's like, don't say, oh, hey, I put my dick in this pizza box because I watched it on a porn once, as if it's okay, and blame it on the porn if it went wrong and awry.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's sausage. But no, it's...
You
Wouldn't
said
just
meat
burn your
lovers.
dick off that?
wait, what?
It doesn't have to be a fresh pizza.
You said meat lovers.
You ain't gonna eat it anyway.
You just go to someone's house with like old ass pizza, like.
It's like I just don't like the whole like people idolize like things like Pretty Woman or like movies where it's like the maid at the hotel like you know falls in love with like the rich guy. Like please fuck off. Like the rich guy doesn't even know you exist. You're just the maid. You're lucky if he's gonna leave a tip. Like that's just not how shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Along
same
those
for
lines, 50 Shades of Grey. I hate that movie with a passion because if that dude was working at Home Depot living in his mom's basement, he'd be considered a fucking creepy dude. But because
You
he's
can also
rich,
be a
that's
virgin.
so hot.
Well, there's contracts involved. You'd have to be able to afford a lawyer.
Get that far. If I'm working at Home Depot and I live in my mom's basement, I'm like, hey girl, can you sign this contract? She'd be like, get the fuck away from my face. What do you mean?
I actually could not make it through that movie. I tried to watch it because I read the books and like I was like I have to do this because I'm into like the lifestyle as a responsibility thing to read it. But the movie was just so bad. I couldn't.
the best way to watch those movies is watch this YouTuber Dylan is in trouble, and he does a reaction watching those movies, and it's the best thing ever. It's the most accurate response to those movies. But if we're looking at the love and relationship portion of like films and television too, it's like I think that stuff is negatively affecting people's expectations in relationships.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, oh, I would love to have this happen. I'm assuming it will someday. No, it fucking won't. It's kind of a negative impact on actual relationships.
So I kind of feel like now I may be way off base. I kind of feel like that affects women a lot more because they watch those types of like romantic comedies, romantic movies, romance novels, all romance, and you just get conditioned like, oh, that's what I want. That's what I want in life. Oh, I want a man that does that. Like, and in reality, like that is 1 in a million.
But also in reality, the guys in those books and movies are just kind of like blah, like.
Someone got murdered. I don't
Yeah, right? That sounded weird. Jareen, it's coming from you.
Is that 50 Shades of the Chipmunks?
There you go.
Oh, Dream, your headset's jacked. Like,
There you go.
It's like, beep, beep.
Oh, I can't hear you now. That's shitty. Here,
Well,
try.
did someone had Crazy and
Here,
Jaren?
let me try dragging you out, dragging you back in.
She's like Peppa Hands.
There you go. Say something.
Say something, girl.
Say something. Oh God! You literally
wild.
sound like a chipmunk.
Fucking hot. Keep going. Hell yeah, speak chipmunk. Hell yeah.
Maybe you can join Discord from your phone.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
Restart Discord and reconnect. the
Yeah,
line.
just close Discord and reopen it. Just close Discord and reopen it. All right, so how can you combat those unrealistic like depictions in movies and TV shows and stuff? Like how can you combat,
Live real
educate, like teach people like, oh, okay, this is not real life. This shit does not happen like the movies play it out to be.
Yeah. I mean,
Movie where you're pissed off at your husband because he farts in your direction and stuff. Make it like real and
Yeah.
funny as fuck.
Like Jim Carrey in that one.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe as adults we should realize that the things that we see on television are not real.
Mhm.
It's fiction, and we shouldn't set realistic expectations based on fiction.
yeah. And also, like, all those movies are like one-dimensional, and they're never like three-dimensional, like concepts of like actual relationships and the ups and downs. It's always like just the ramp up. You never see the aftermath of any of
That's
those
true.
relationships.
That's
You
very
never
true.
see that. Like, you never see anything. It's just how they met each other, how they fell in love, and how it's a good, like, happy ending story. But like, what the fuck happens after the movie? It's 2 hours. You only see like a 2-hour window. It's like, you don't see anything.
I think the only realistic, real love movies there are ones that add that unrealistic twist, like Mind Erasing or Traveling Back in Time. There was this one love movie I watched. It was based in, it was a British movie, but the dude kept traveling back in time trying to win the girl and like redoing timelines. And that's the only way you could really make a love movie, quote unquote, realistic-ish, is adding that one sense
Time travel.
of unreality. Yeah.
Or
More
you-
realistic shows like Shameless or something.
Well,
I mean, there's like artsy movies as well that depict like the realistic like versions of like relationships. Like all those like artsy movies always have it like right. Well, they don't have it right because it's more fantasy and like the more disappointing side than it is like the more happy side. I always feel like those artsy movies kind of get it right in a way. I don't know.
I don't watch a lot of love movies, but I feel like the stuff I do watch, they portray people, like a lot of relationships with flaws. Like I'm thinking The Walking Dead, where they're just unfaithful. Like they're more apparent to show the flaws in relationships now. That's just being just the stuff I watch. I'm not big into love stories where they do over dramatize.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say as well, like if we can watch Harry Potter and acknowledge that it's fantasy, we should be able to watch a rom-com and acknowledge that it's fantasy.
Should be able to. No. Still a squirrel. You can try your phone. Try your phone Discord.
Have any of you guys ever watched the movie The Butterfly?
Yeah.
Picture.
That's a
That's
really
a trippy
like
movie.
it's a trippy and it's fucked up because like it shows how like even when he was trying to go back in time to like win the girl, he still fucks shit up.
Yeah, that's true. One of my favorite relationship movies just like that is Donnie Darko, of course.
Yes.
Just the whole twisted concept ending as well.
I might be aging myself, but does anybody remember Legend with Tom Cruise?
Yeah. Wait, Legend with Tom Cruise. Mm-mm.
The big demon dude.
Yeah.
He falls in love with a girl and she steals the horn. No, that she doesn't do it, but she touches a unicorn, which is like super sacred not to do or whatever. I think that might be one of my favorite love movies.
Never heard of that one.
I highly recommend that. Awesome movie. Yeah. Tim Curry's the demon.
Another dark love movie is What Dreams May Come. If you've seen that,
Love
that's
that
incredible.
movie.
That's a good
That's
one.
my favorite movie of all time.
That's actually mine as well.
Really?
It's the most beautiful, colorful, amazing, deep movie I've ever seen. Love it.
I'm not a religious person. It's amazing.
I should rewatch it. It's been forever since I've seen it, and I
Incredible
honestly don't
watch,
remember it. I honestly
haven't
don't
seen it.
remember it.
Gotta give
Oh,
some
movie
big ups
night.
to Robin
We should
Williams.
do a movie night and watch it.
Have you seen Don John before? With
Yes.
what's his name?
It's actually pretty
That
good.
was a pretty good. That was accurate-ish.
It was like very like accurate to real life. Like some people go through that shit. Yeah, it's crazy.
Vanilla Sky. I like that one a lot too.
Oh, Vanilla Sky is a
Sky.
great movie.
That's a good
Yeah.
one too.
Is this
Yeah.
any better? And yes, what dreams may
Yes.
come is
Yeah,
everything.
There you
I
go.
have a headset for this.
Completely.
Huh.
Honestly, if you reboot your computer, it would probably fix it. But I
Yeah, because it looks like your cam's
I
lagging.
wouldn't
too.
worry about it right now.
Delayed.
I'll just.
Yeah,
Nah,
just reboot and pop back in.
no, just reboot later. It sounds fine on your phone.
Okay.
It's up to you. It don't matter either way.
But yeah, either way, yeah.
Yeah, so-
it's the fact of basically people just need to start realizing that movies are movies. You can't relate to them at all. You can maybe hear and then nitpick, but you can't just make assumptions that that's reality.
You're telling me Hogwarts doesn't exist, though?
No, and you're not a wizard.
God damn it!
Darn.
This world's bullshit.
I know.
Cancel the world.
All right. All right. Anyone else for that topic before we move on? Nalene?
I'd kind of like to say in society, we have to remember that our lives aren't written in a Hollywood format.
Mm-hmm.
That we have to remember we write our own stories, we experience our own lives, and we make our own path. And yeah, the movies are great. They tell a wonderful story, and that may work out for 1 in a million. But that's what it's for, is to make you feel good, to entertain you. But you also have to remember, real life doesn't always work out that way.
Real life sucks. I mean, what?
Real life is great. What do you mean?
In terms of, like, if you believe in that fake love stuff, it sucks like
gotcha.
going from when you're young to be like, actually, this is all bullshit. That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
It can't
Oh,
be
yeah.
like,
If you think that you're gonna find the love of your life in like a movie way, like your life is gonna suck. Your relationships are gonna suck.
Does it also start with childhood, and you tell your children that they can't realistically expect to be princesses, so they don't start young thinking that they can have a childhood romance growing up, being saved from a tower and then finding a white knight by the time of adulthood? Like,
I mean,
you start there.
That kind of unrealistic stuff, maybe, but like that's also a slippery slope of like how like if they bring up something in the future that you don't agree with, do you try to like squash that as well, like squash their dreams basically? So it's almost like a slippery slope.
Hey man, my parents squashed my dreams real early. I turned out okay.
Like,
Can't relate.
yeah, well,
Squashed when I was a kid, so hey.
If people really, really, truly believe that they have like a true love or like the one, for the most part, most of them will probably not get to stay with them or be with them. They could have honestly met them sometime in their life and just completely blown over the idea of being with them. So it's just like there's no true love fantasy thing, happy ending kind of thing. Reality is a much more harsh life, and people need to kind of know the difference, because if they compare it to these stories that are told on a film or on a camera, they're gonna be sadly mistaken. For the most part, some people can actually get lucky and have a life and a wife in a streaming room, and they enjoy themselves, and they can do that. That's good for them. But in reality, that is not going to happen for everybody.
yeah. So, anyone else for that topic before we move on? No? Okay. Let's see, does age become nothing but a number the second someone becomes 18? Or should we question the intentions of a 40-year-old who's dating an 18-year-old? Or not, as long as it's legally consensual?
Question.
So I don't question. I question what the fuck are you talking about? Because like maturity level is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And an 18-year-old is not going to have that much in common with someone in their 40s. I'm sorry. You might want to make believe that you do, but the reality is you don't have the maturity level. Like the 18-year-old isn't going to have the maturity level to deal with 40-year-old issues.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
The biggest issue I see with that is whenever the younger person's 40, then the other one's, so then you're
dead.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, quite.
You know. Go ahead.
I don't know what Go on.
Who's talking?
Oh, okay, I'll
Go
talk. Or if you're young enough to know, and then you date an older guy, and then you just have to wait till he dies, and then you get all his money. Like some young people think fucked up like that, you know?
You gotta look at it this way. It's like you're looking at, say, for instance, a 30-year-old a 40-year-old talking to an 18-year-old, right? Think of it as it's not a matter of the difference on the age, more on like they're still a young person, whether legal or not. It's still kind of awkward that you're pretty much lived through nearly half your life, and they're just getting started for the most part. If you look at a couple that's 70 and 50, it's not as bad sounding or looking, because both people kind of have lived their lives.
No, they're over the hill.
Yeah, and they don't care. That doesn't matter. Yeah, they don't matter. They're over the hill now. No, it's just a matter of like perspective. An 18-year-old and a 4-year-old is different than a 50 and 70-year-old. It's just like it's more of a mental state.
If you're just strictly hooking up, that's it, moving on, I'm a little more understanding and lenient on that. If it's like 50-60-year-old with a 18-year-old, then I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
hold on, like what is going on here? Like you are clearly paying her money, you're paying her rent, something's going on. Holy shit.
I find it questionable. Though, like, I mean, why is a 40-year-old pursuing like an 18-year-old? In my head, it's kind of like she's just fresh out of high school, or like.
Yeah.
Well, some people grow up and they say, you know, the best thing about getting older is high school girls stay the same age.
And those are creepy motherfuckers.
You have those people. They're still going to be out there.
No.
I think it's
Holding onto a dream.
I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen that a younger girl can fall in love with an older guy. Like, that's not impossible. But it's also a manipulation game as well.
Yeah.
Like, these older men manipulate a younger mind. You know?
Yep. It's true.
Yes, it's like kind of predatorish. Like, well, it is. Like, it's it's like predator behavior. Like it scares the shit out of me. Like seeing someone actually like pursue that. Like
You don't want to see your daughter having a relationship with a guy that's 40 if she's 18, kind of thing.
So
well, it's not.
So
Lucky brought up a good point in chat. He said, why does everyone instantly think about the male being the older one and it being nefarious? Why can't it be a cougar with a boy toy?
that's still
It's the
gross.
same thing.
I'm sorry, that's still gross.
Thing, but just reverse. Like the woman wants to manipulate the younger mind.
Hey, listen, I don't judge. Y'all be happy.
And a little bit I was, so wasn't 18.
If that is what makes you happy and it's legal, then go for it. But
So there is something to be said about like people's behavior changing as they get older, and because they still want to sort of like grasp onto their own youth, they tend to like try to start dating people that are younger.
Yeah.
So there is that as well. I mean, personally, I wouldn't date anyone under 25 just because like I have nothing common with you.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I'm like 21. Like I at least have to fucking go to a restaurant and order drinks or something. Like Jesus.
Yeah.
Like
You wouldn't date, but would you hook up with someone that's under 25?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't.
I would
I
hook up
would.
with someone who's 18.
I mean,
but I
if-
wouldn't take it.
If it's just sex and moving on, yeah.
I'm also closer to 40 than I am 30. So for me,
yeah, that's way young for me.
I mean, I say that, but the more I
All right. So, what is the most important thing you can do to improve yourself, in your opinion?
We don't have enough time.
to improve yourself.
Yeah, like you personally.
Having goals.
What is the most important thing you can do for yourself personally to improve yourself, in your opinion?
brush your teeth, if your belly jiggles, do some crunches.
Look, I do a lot of crunches.
That's what I tell myself. That's
my belly still jiggles. Fuck you,
I'm not, saying,
Kevlar.
I'm not saying that's a rule for everybody. I'm saying that's for me, because when I hit that point, once I start getting upstairs, I'm getting winded, and I'm like, oh, I've been eating too much. That's a me thing. I tell myself that in the mirror. And I'm not saying that for everybody else.
I'm just saying targeted exercise doesn't work that way. You'd be better off doing like a full body exercise.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing the science of it, but
being comfortable with yourself,
for sure.
Learn to take L's,
Yeah.
right, and then also learn to be happy being by yourself, like being in your own company.
Yes.
Oh, we're talking mentally, not physically.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Well, no, like anything. Just
No, I
anything.
totally agree with that. I was gonna hit that topic, but I thought we were talking about like looking in the mirror, like how do you make yourself comfortable? Like, okay, I got you. Yeah, right. Delete your Facebook.
Lawyer up. Wait.
We changed the topic. Sorry.
Having goals and not letting life get stagnant is important.
Yeah, that's very true.
For sure.
I
For
think
me,
treating yourself is very important.
Oh, let's see.
Learn to treat yourself here and there.
For me, at least, I usually just have a goal every 3 months and try and fail until I like succeed or like just find something. Like just having a goal every 3 months and just find something new to do.
It took me longer than I like to admit to learn that failure is important.
The only way you win is by failing, you know?
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, like, I honestly learn the best by fucking up, to be honest. Like, I fucked up a lot to get to where I am in life, all right? God damn it. I've learned a lot.
For me, it's been mostly about like figuring out the things that I'm not comfortable with within like myself and like other people's behavior, and kind of accepting that like I can't make that my responsibility and I can't control these things.
Yeah. Like for
Something
me,
I tell me. Go ahead.
oh, you're good. For me, it's like constantly pushing myself to learn more about my job, learn more about streaming, learn more about relationships, learn like just anything and everything I can learn more about. I love documentaries. I love educational podcasts. I love fucking educational YouTube videos. Nolly?
I'd have to say, for me personally, one of my biggest things is I lack confidence. Jen knows me better than anyone here, and she knows that I am very self-conscious. I'm not very confident. But for me, I need to learn to step back and see, yes, I do have flaws. And you know what? That's all right.
Yep.
I need to accept that and move forward and find strength in my weaknesses. So that way I can love myself, because if I can't love myself, who's going to love me, you know?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think what's important to realize in that aspect too is that, you know, never try to hinder yourself. Like, always allow yourself to be open, because then if you get shot down or somebody, you know, is like, well, you're acting up or you're different or something, at least that way you feel like you don't regret putting yourself out there. And like, everybody has great value because we all like different things. So, you know, learn to express what you like and talk about it, and surround yourself with those people that make you feel comfortable. But you know, that's the best thing about feeling comfortable with you or having a better opinion of you is like, do you have a strong foundation? Do you have people that want to support you and back you up?
Exactly. And that's why I'm trying to focus less on trying to make myself more approachable for other people rather than being more comfortable in my own skin. Because if I'm not comfortable being me, then it's just all fake. And I want to be me with my friends and having a good time and just being idiots and really enjoying what we're doing, rather than feel like I have to put on this act 24/7 and never really be myself.
Yeah, that's a horrible way to live, and you don't deserve that. So, you know, as long as you recognize that, that's very important for people.
Do you believe? Okay, I faked it till I made it. Like, I did fake it till you make it until I actually believed it. I feel like there is kind of a place for that, if that makes sense.
Well, repetition in a positive way does pay out. Like, if you do the 3-6-9, like you continue to say, you know, in 3 sets a day for 6 minutes, or no, for 9 minutes, and you repeat the same 6 words about positivity, like that's something you can build in your head. It's like I don't know if you've heard of that concept, but you know,
about like
repeating.
Oh,
you know, right? Yeah, right. No, it's
cognitive-
like it's something to do with numbers and being like teaching yourself something. Same with studying. But like, if you repeat positive thoughts and you live these positive affirmations, like you can turn yourself around and live that positivity.
I was just going to say cognitive behavioral therapy, which is like a proven method that, that therapists use, is all about retraining your brain. So it's an effective way to fake it till you make it. You just retrain yourself to think a different way.
So it's kind of along the lines of like, if you constantly dwell on something, let's say, I don't know, let's give me a topic to dwell on. So something good that usually happens in real life that people dwell on.
My boyfriend is cheating on me.
There you go. If you dwell on your boyfriend cheating, you're constantly thinking about this. Every little thing, you're going to question everything he does. You're going to question every time he picks up his cell phone. Why are you texting somebody? Who are you messaging? Like, you're going to start questioning them. You're pushing them away, so you're ruining your relationship, because you're literally just making up shit in your brain because you're like focusing on this nonstop. So you're literally bringing to fruition, if I can say it right.
Right.
Your worst nightmare. Like,
you're manifesting destiny.
This is how the fucking, like, if you dwell on stuff, if you keep focusing on negative shit, you're going to bring that negative shit into your life unintentionally. Like, whether you intend it to happen or not, you are going to be the cause of that, because that's all
Very
you
true.
keep thinking about.
I've done that.
I have too.
That's me. I've done.
I will 100% admit that. I've done it as well.
I 100%. When I started internet streaming, I was the most negative piece of shit you could ever watch.
Aw.
Like, yeah.
Still me.
Hell no. Pump yourself up, Astral.
So now I've learned, and I'm willing to work through my own issues, and I've done all that, and now I'm just ready to just be me. You know.
Yep. Same.
It's always a shame though when your suspicions were correct and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, but sometimes it's your own behavior that made that thing happen.
Exactly. That's the bad part.
Yeah.
And as far as streaming goes, I feel like we project that. Like if you're negative when you're streaming and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any viewers or this or that, like
Nobody wants to
people can
stay
see
around
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll come in and see you and they'll be like, I'm leaving. This guy's an ass.
Like, let me go retweet your "no one's watching me" tweet so people will watch you.
Right?
Yeah, right.
If you're on social media, okay, this is another thing. Okay, imagine yourself going into a streamer's channel and that streamer says, as your first encounter with them, yeah, people usually avoid my channel. I don't know why, but yeah, I just don't know why.
Yep.
Boom, instantly you're like, wait, why the fuck are people avoiding this man? I unconsciously am now going to avoid this person because he said that other people are avoiding him, or like they are avoiding this person. So don't do that shit. Don't put that negativity out there.
And be okay with the fact that maybe you won't have more than a certain amount of viewers at first. That doesn't mean that you're not providing value in content. It means that the people that would find that value in your content haven't found you yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, Bronichiwa. Agreed.
I'm not putting input on this because this is literally just all me. So I'm just. I don't have
like
I'm just not gonna.
It's really tough because you actually have to really be conscious of what you're thinking about and catch yourself thinking these negative things. Like you have to. What you're doing and concentrating on is just a habit. That's you thinking the same thoughts over and over constantly, and then bringing that to fruition. So you have to catch yourself like doing that, being like, no, that's not okay, and think the literal exact opposite. So if you think I'm a piece of shit, nobody likes me, no one wants to be around me, instantly cut that shit off and be like, everyone wants to be around me, everybody wants to talk to me, I'm a great person. Like, just fucking build yourself up.
And you have that kind of mindset, and then something else comes popping in, as in, well, I'm all these things now, why are people still not watching me and they're watching this asshole or something like that? So then it can counteract it.
You don't let it bother you.
You just have to.
It does, but you again, you have to catch yourself thinking that kind of stuff, because again, that's feeding back into your bad habit of thinking negatively.
Yeah, and it always takes time for shit to grow too. It's not like in shit. So it's just like you just gotta take your time. I say it in a joking tone. Hopefully people in my chat know that when I say that. Some of them don't, but I hopefully people like know whenever I say, oh, my viewers, I always say in a joking tone, and people are like what are you talking about? But like yeah, you never put it in a real, like, never say it like for real, and never always say in a joking tone, and then never take shit serious, and that's it.
That's the thing. Like, take yourself seriously, take your business seriously, but don't project negativity on other people, and don't think that the world revolves around you, because it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, obviously.
So like, even if you're, I don't know, you kind of have to be careful about self-deprecating jokes as well, because that also feeds into the negative mentality. Like, whether you mean it to or not, you're putting that out there. You're laughing at it, people are laughing at it, but internally, like, you're just saying that over and over and over again, so you're just building that habit up.
That's true. That's very true.
There's a saying, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success, and like, that's just how it is. Like, you have to work hard, and it might seem to somebody like, maybe we look at some streamer and go, oh, they went from being like 2 viewers to 300 viewers and in no time. It's like, no, they've been doing it and they've been at the bottom for a really long time. It just seems to us like it took them no time. So like, you can't just, and I think that's the same thing with life. Like, it just, you have to work at things, and you can't just expect them. Like, we are not entitled to anything.
Yep.
Like, we can't expect things to just be.
On that mindset, out of curiosity, if people are are okay with answering it, it's like, how long have you been streaming? How long have you had a channel? And how well do you think your progress has been since then? Everyone's progress is different, but like, given the amount of time you put in, do you feel like you put in the amount, like, you know, your progress has been good since the start?
I mean, for me, it's a day-to-day thing. I don't really care if I go up, go down. Streaming is going up and going down. One day you'll have like 50 viewers, the next you'll have 5, and you just gotta take it for what it is. Like every stream, you just gotta do your best. You just gotta be as entertaining as possible, as like, you know, just as good as possible. It doesn't matter what the viewers have, like what happens. You just hope that you build a good community and take it day by day.
So
yeah, I totally agree with that. So,
sorry,
like,
go ahead.
I think you have to. Oh, so yeah, I feel like you have to reel in your expectations and like look at other streams, because if you're watching other people and they're just another streamer playing Fortnite while breathing heavy on the mic, not talking to chat, like you have to jump on and blow up. You're not standing out. Like Lucid, you have to be entertaining.
Yep.
YouTube videos.
Also, if you aren't like utilizing every single platform you can possibly utilize to get your name out there in some shape, way, or form, then you're also doing it wrong. You're not like okay, so there's different sides to streaming, right? Like there's the just like chill, I just want to play video games with friends and just hang out and shit. But if you want to do this full time, you almost have to switch your mindset on the back end to be like, okay, this is a business. I need to market the fuck out of this and make people aware of me, my community, what we do, what we stand for, all that kind of stuff, and then like focus on all that kind of stuff. I don't know, that's just me personally.
So
it takes a long time to build.
Sorry.
It takes a long time to build a brand for yourself. It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
I've been streaming, I think, probably longer than anyone else, because I started when Justin TV was the main streaming platform. And back when it wasn't monetized, I would have thousands of viewers in my stream. So like if I were to look at it and compare my streaming now to where my streaming was back when I was on Justin TV, I would think that like, oh, it's not, it sucks. But I think for me, because I don't do it for the money part, I do it because I enjoy streaming. It hasn't changed. Like I even though I have less viewers than I had then, like to me, it's still just as entertaining.
Yeah, and also just like the spotlight is the people that watch you too. Like just make connections with the people that watch you, and like the whole thing is just like you just try to make friends and stuff. Like what is a viewer? Like it's nothing but what's a connection, what's a friend, what's a person that wants to connect with you. That's way better than like just having a number, because there's people behind that. So
yeah, I honestly feel like most streamers, this is the path to the big time streamers is you start out, you have no one, right? You make connections, you make friends, and you start building a quote unquote community. You build up that community to the point where it starts drawing in actual like people that view you and the community and your interactions and that type of stuff. So you build up that viewer base then, and then you end up to the point where you're like one of the big time streamers. That's when I step back and look at it, that's how I look at how people have gotten to where they've gotten. Or you're just really fucking good at a video game, or just have this really crazy niche, you know what I mean?
Or you're really pretty.
Yes.
Because we do have to acknowledge that it is easier to be pretty.
I'm glad it is. I don't want to say it because I'm a guy, right? People be like, "Oh, look at the shit lord."
Oh, get out of here.
No. There is something inherently easier about life if you are more attractive. So yeah, if you're a pretty girl, chances are you're going to have a better chance of making partner than a 40-year-old guy. That's just the way that.
Yeah.
I call BS on that, but I don't.
Really?
Yeah, because I've seen like pretty people not really go that far on Twitch, and I've seen like people who are charismatic and like more out there that have gone further. Like it's just very weird like how growth on Twitch happens, because it's not like any other platform. It's not like IG where it's just like you can get popular like that.
Yeah.
It's like you have to put a lot of work in, and being pretty doesn't really cut it.
I mean,
like 95% of the time.
Even even fucking IG or Twitter, it takes a lot of work. Like to hit that 10K mark, to get that like verified and all that kind of shit. Dude, that's
but the algorithm works it like for you. While Twitch, there is no algorithm. How you meet people is how you project, like how you network yourself.
Yeah.
It's all network.
Like Twitch doesn't have like a algorithm.
This right here, it's networking.
Exactly.
Well, shout out for Seth for putting it. I mean, I'm just gonna say for pretty much like putting us on, right? People that do these kind of streams, like they put you on. Like if it wasn't for him, like other people that do this, like I'd be like a one viewer Andy pretty much. So I definitely appreciate people that do that.
Well, like I like these streams because they give me a chance to network, meet new people. Plus we both benefit from it, right? Like it's content for me, plus easy discoverability for everyone else that's on the panel. So if we're all benefiting and growing together, then fuck it. Like let's ride the train.
Bitches.
So the original topic was, what is the most important thing you can do to improve yourself in your opinion? We like
believe in yourself.
We went way off topic there. Anyone else for that? All right, so this is a scenario question that actually someone wrote in about. So this was a personal one. Like someone in the community wrote this. I'm in my late 20s and my husband is in his 30s and was recently diagnosed with fibromyalgia. It's causing total havoc in our relationship. He went on FMLA at the beginning of the year, but he probably can't go back to work because of how he feels. So it'd only be me taking care of the finances, plus things at home, our kid, and our dog. I know he's sick, but some days I feel like he doesn't realize how much pressure I'm under. It makes me feel guilty for getting upset. How can I make this work?
So Lucky literally just typed in, I'm about to become an expert in that situation.
Oh, shit.
My husband has chronic fatigue syndrome, which is myalgic encephalitis, and it's very similar to fibromyalgia. So I feel like everyone in relationships is like, when they do their vows, they do them without the expectation that these things are actually going to happen, like the sickness and in health. But when they do happen, they're like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do now? So he can't work because some days he feels like shit and his body hurts. Some days he's okay. Usually it's more of the bad days. And it is not easy. But if you genuinely care about your husband and you love him, you have to try and find a way to support each other. Obviously, he needs to understand the amount of pressure and stress that you're under, because you're going from a two-person income to one-person income. So he needs to be okay with cutting back on things. Like, you won't be able to go out as much. You won't be able to have like the nice things. But like, if you actually care about him and your relationship with your kid and everything, like, you can figure it out. Like, it's not easy, but it's very possible.
No. Anyone else for that?
It's pretty much nails it on the head. Like, you either have to work it out or you're not gonna work it out.
Yeah.
Not an easy situation.
Like she was saying, like the vows thing, like most people take it without thinking that's gonna happen because they just take it for granted. Because it's so easy to get divorced now. Like, I've been divorced twice. I'm an expert. I got you.
We don't like.
I'm a pro at it.
So, now, granted, this is me talking from not having experience with fibromyalgia, but if it was me and I had a chronic illness, I would absolutely still try to like do my best to help out as best I can, whether that be an online job, fucking editing videos, being your stream producer, marketing, what, like whatever I could do to help out, I would try my best to do to make it easier on the other person.
Again, no matter what the case may be, whether it's a chronic illness that happens or a loss of a job, even just whatever the case is, it's all a matter of communicating with your partner regardless. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a little harder, sometimes it's not as hard. It just varies on the people and the situation. But communication, again, is key. You got to talk to your partner and just try to work through it. If they feel it's worth fighting through and working around, then they will. If not, you'll know.
No.
If it's anything, I know fibromyalgia like has different levels and stuff. If it's anything like CFS, like it's hard. It's a lot easier to do. So, like my husband runs a website. Like he runs our website, but there are some, like sometimes it's weeks at a time where he cannot get out of bed. So you have to be able to acknowledge that there might be some weeks where like that person just can't do anything. You know, we've had to cancel on friends and events and stuff, and it sucks. And like as your partner, you don't want to make them feel bad about it, even though like they know that you do. So it's like it's a weird like double-edged sword, because like they feel guilty because like they're not their best person, and you feel guilty because they're not their best person.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful to like, you know, not fall into those like bad circles of like guilt and resentment and just feeling like shit, like both of you, because that's not productive.
Yeah, exactly. So like, especially if you are very empathic, you kind of have to be careful with like how far you let yourself empathize with that person. In it, like I'm trying to think of a good way to word it, but like it's kind of like in the airplane with the oxygen mask. Like you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of somebody else. Like you still have to make sure that you are fulfilled, you're getting your needs and wants met in the relationship as well, so you can take care of the other person. And it takes a little bit of sacrifice too.
I was just gonna say, like, some things you are gonna have to give up, but like you also have to be very like mindful of things that you do for yourself. So like I'll go get a massage, or I'll go get my nails done, or I'll leave and go like hang out at the mall. So like, because if I'm like a mess and he's a mess, like, and we're both a mess, all we're gonna do is just be at each other's throats, and we're just gonna hate each other for a situation that we can't control. So like you just have to be like, take care of yourself so that you can take care of each other.
That's the hardest thing, because I think people don't realize, especially once you become a caretaker with your spouse, your significant other, people don't understand the toll that even takes. Like I've watched my father go through it, being my mother's full-time caregiver for the last, my God, I don't even know where we're at this point, 4 years. And he can't take time to himself. He takes care of her 24 hours a day. And just seeing the just defeat and just how much it's just aging him and killing him, and just every single waking day, it's so hard. And that's why you say, and I agree with you, Jojo, 10,000%, you either can do it or you can't. I mean, there's not a lot of wiggle room in that. And it's not that you don't love the person, and it's not that you don't, whatever that situation is, but that is one of the hardest things as humans we have to try to do.
Nope.
It's knowing your limits and what all you can take, you know? It's...
So before we move on to the next topic here, you guys want to do a toast? You guys got drinks? Also, while these folks are getting drinks and stuff, let me just talk about, so after the stream, we jump into Discord video chat and hang out for a little bit. Not all the panelists do. Some have like work the next morning, some have shit going on, so like not everyone will be there, but a majority of the folks will be there. Plus people from the community jump in, people from their communities are welcome to jump in. We all just kind of hang out, shoot the shit, have a really good conversation, or play games or whatever. But that's everyone's chance to kind of like meet and greet everybody, hang out, get to know the people on the panel a little bit better. You can do ! Discord and chat to jump in Discord. Pretty much, I'd say 95% of chat right now is in Discord. Also, we do these every single Thursday. Every Thursday from 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. We talk about relationships, sex, and dating topics. Just to help, I don't know, help normalize the conversation around it. Because, I mean, let's be honest, like, sex education in America is not the fucking greatest. Plus, nobody teaches you how to, like, properly communicate, set boundaries, how to handle these, like, delicate situations that come up in relationships and stuff. So it's good to hear people, especially people around your own age group and shit that have been through that, share their experiences and their knowledge surrounding it. So it's kind of like a double purpose type of stream, but it's also just us getting to hang out, drink, and have a good conversation too.
My internet keeps crashing. I think I have to bow out.
I'm sorry, Dreen.
I know, I'm so sad. I don't know what to do. I just crashed again.
Router?
I get it.
We're having storms.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The storms that hit us is probably hitting you right now.
Yeah, we're getting hits. It's starting to cloud up again. I'm so sad.
That's all right. I mean, we literally do them every Thursday, so you're always welcome back whenever you're free.
No, I know. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye,
Later.
Bye.
Boo.
Bye.
All right. Toast time. All right. Let's see. What is this to? Here we go. To being single, seeing double, and sleeping triple. Cheers. All right.
That's a life for sure.
Let's see. Here's another situational question that somebody wrote in about. My ex started talking to other women before he broke up with me and lied about it. They promised we could be friends and maybe try dating after the new house was set up. What? They started accusing me of doing things I wasn't, and was threatening me with a criminal investigation, which, while I am innocent, could affect the current security clearance I'm trying to get for work. How do I get them to stop because I need this job?
Be gone, male thought. 100%.
Block and lawyer up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you might want to seek legal action.
Oh yeah. I would literally go to the cops. I like if they don't believe you're going to the cops, I would fucking FaceTime myself walking into the police station and be like, fuck with me again, and it's gonna be bad for you.
I mean, I had an ex that threatened to tell my bosses that I was a drug addict, because I could never be as happy as I was with him.
Wow.
So because I was happy, I must have been on drugs. So they threatened to tell my employer that I was a drug addict. And between that and a lot of other stuff that they were sending me via text message, I was actually able to get a restraining order against him.
Nice.
So you want to make sure that any communication is via a recordable, like, media. So like if it's text or whatever, you want to make sure you have all of your documents.
Smart.
And go the legal route, because
Also, most states are actually one-party consent for recording phone calls.
Yeah, most
states. Not every state, so double check, but most states are.
But if it's text messages, you just save them on your phone and just print them out and take them with.
Nope.
Be careful though, because some cell phones automatically delete backed up text, and if there's a lot of texting going on, it'll just get rid of some of the earlier things.
Yeah, those are
Actually, I do not. Well, like a lot of people will delete their text messages and stuff. I do not delete my text messages. I do not. I back that shit up.
Text messages between my ex-wives and I've been divorced for 4 years.
You said ex-wives?
Yeah, he's too.
All of them? No, I know that, but you've kept all of them?
Oh yeah, yep. Just in case
Nice.
they ever want to come back with some shit and be like, you smack that shit around.
You still got memory?
That's horrible. But if you really want to hide text messages but don't delete them, you could always encrypt your data, just like you can encrypt your hard drive and everything, just in case if your hard drive were to get stolen, they can't get access.
Could just screenshot or send them all to your email.
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
Export to Excel.
Time consuming as fuck, but yes, you can do
It's
that.
extra work.
Legal route. For anything that has to do with threats, especially if you don't want to lose your clearance, go the legal route.
For sure.
But yeah, definitely kick them to the curb. Obviously, first things first. As soon as that person was talking to someone else and leaves you, done. There's no need to even discuss. Oh, so after moving to a house, maybe we can. No. Oh, you fucked up right away, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a very strange relationship or breakup. That seems a bit odd.
Promise we could be friends and maybe try dating after the new house was set up. Why would you want to date somebody that was like, nah, fuck you, you're not good enough. I'm just gonna.
And they were talking to other people too. Like they were clearly not interested.
I'm more curious about the new house setup.
I'm good.
Whether you're talking about moving into a new house together, is that what they were talking about? Because that's a big no.
Right?
Who are they? Wants to wait for they to give him permission. Like what? Like you pretty much got cheated on. Like it's a self-respect thing. He probably thinks he can't do any better, but you can. You just gotta get that mindset. Like you can do better. You can find someone equal or better. Just you gotta cut it off.
No.
Cut them ties.
Anyone else for that topic before we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
I just want to say.
Oh.
I'm with Bronichua. Fuck those people.
All right.
Fuck.
Nobody got time for that.
Kevlar? Who's gonna
I just
say?
want to say your skin tone is looking immaculate today.
Who? Me?
You motherfucker. Who else am I talking to?
Oh, I've been outside lately.
Yeah, right? Looking nice.
I actually got some sunlight for once.
Crispy.
Ew. Who does that?
I know, right? Hey, I
With
wore
that-
sunscreen though. I wore sunscreen.
Get that vitamin capital D.
Yeah, it is starting to look a little more matched with your little cutout behind you.
Dude, behind your
God.
Yeah, that San Diego sunshine makes it look golden.
All right. Is flirting cheating even if there's no intention behind it?
No.
That
Nope.
depends on your relationship.
Flirting's healthy.
It depends on your relationship.
Yeah.
Depends on
And the level of flirting, of course.
Yeah.
Like you could be nicely flirting or, to where you're not feeling like disingenuous, but you're actually being like, oh, you're adorable, like blah, blah, blah. And then you like leave it at that.
I think
Again,
it's flirting,
or
like,
then, then it's like, then there's like the come on flirting. And it all depends on what your relationship's set up as well. Like the communication there. C-Shay wants to say it.
Sorry.
Communication.
Yeah. I'm proud of those shirts. Communication. No, it also depends on whether you're like monogamous or polyamorous and whatnot. It's like there's a lot more of an open kind of mindset on that kind of situation. Flirting with somebody, that's all fair game if you are, because it's like that's kind of the idea. You're not feeling like like you're locked in with just a single person. So, I mean, I think it really depends.
Yeah.
I would say comfortable with it. I call it the mirror theory. Like whatever she does, if she's okay with me doing it and she doesn't trip out of it, okay, cool. Like people are like, oh, I have like 12 guy friends. Like I just like guys because they're easier to get along with. I'm like, cool. I have a bunch of chick friends. They're easy to get along with. Would you be fine with me having like 20 chick friends? Oh, now you're tripping? That's kind of weird.
Wait, hold on. Because that also applies with the sex thing earlier, remember?
Double standard man with double
You
standard
double standard
woman.
motherfucker. No, I'm kidding.
So
Quad standard.
with flirting, it absolutely depends on what the boundaries of your relationship are. And the level of flirting, again, depends on it. Like, my husband's like, he'll be like, I don't care if you send him your tits. And I'm like, what? He's like, a lot of times he'll be like, you can send him pictures of your boobs. I don't care. But we have like limitations. Like, so even within flirting, that there are things that like are not okay for me to do and are not okay for him to do. So I think it's a matter of what's okay in your relationship. Even as monogamous, though, I feel like you should be okay with flirting because it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not your partner's owner.
So
Exactly.
someone
I
in
had so
chat.
many things I wanted to.
Someone in chat said I have a double standard on this. I'm flirty as fuck with everyone and never made anything by it. I would be sad if my boyfriend flirted with others, but I also have issues to work through, and I'm aware of that. But I don't think it's cheating, though. So, props to you for being self-aware.
Yeah, I was gonna say self-awareness. There you go.
For some people, it's just a personality thing. Like, I just have a flirty personality, and there's a few people on stream, like right now in the panel, that are naturally just flirty people. And you can't really help that. Like, that's just how you...
Well, it's also like a matter of whether you're aware that you're flirting purposely or you're just naturally in a flirty, like, just way of talking. There is a difference there too. So it's like, do you know that you're purposely like, I am flirting with this person, or are you just like naturally like, hey, I'm just joking around and flirting? You know, it's no
biggie. So when does flirting for you personally meet that threshold for cheating?
When it becomes a daily back and forth text message thing.
That, yeah.
Pictures.
But if we're talking
like,
short term,
that's like far for me.
If you're
That's
at
like,
a bar and you're flirting and they buy you a drink, cool. If you're at the gas station, they flirt with you, whatever. But like, I'm intentionally hiding my phone and now texting this person.
yeah, that's
That's
beyond I mean, that's obvious. That's
now,
obvious.
yeah. Now, like, if they are flirting with someone and they haven't communicated with me about it, like, hey, I'm texting so and so, then I have an issue with it. If it's like secret flirting, text messages, that kind of shit, you already have like phone numbers and shit, then I'm like,
So let me ask this. What about just the short term? Like, what if it's just one night, one hangout? Like, what's the limitations on like that instance?
Well, flirting is flirting. Anything else beyond flirting is...
I mean, what's beyond? Is it like physical contact, dancing, grinding?
What, like brushing their arm, like a shoulder massage, butt slap?
I mean, you want to
like
dance
what?
with a random person or a group of people? Like,
Because if you make out with somebody, like, you know,
that's obvious.
That's different. But like, if you're dancing and like, I mean, dancing sometimes involves grinding.
Yeah. So that's where like that's the fine line is like, at what point, as you know, as somebody's significant other, you're just like, oh, stop.
See, for me, it's like if I ask my husband, like, because we both are very flirty people.
So like, hey, can I go make a mess of myself in this guy's crotch? And
no, like if I ask him about a conversation that he might be having with someone and he's like reluctant to tell me what the conversation's about, I feel a little weird about it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, he picks up my phone sometimes and I'm like, oh, you're gonna look through my text messages? I don't give a shit. Like, because, you know, we're very open with each other. But like, if we're hiding shit from each other, that's when it's a threshold for me. Like,
yeah. For sure.
Why are you hiding it?
Yeah, if you're knowingly hiding, you know you're already beyond that point.
As long as it's transparent, it's not cheating, you think?
That helps. Communication would help.
Well, in a poly relationship, when you start hiding something, it is considered cheating by most couples that or most partners that participate in that style of relationship. It's when communication breaks down between the partners.
Yeah. So, moral of the story: communicate.
Power of communication.
Yeah, talk to each other.
I feel that's how I end every one of my comments.
So, like, actually have a conversation about flirting and like what your limits are, so you both know what your limits are for your relationship.
Wait, are you saying it's that simple?
Shocking.
Also, I've made this mistake. Don't have the conversation, you know, on year 2 of your marriage, and as you two have evolved into different people, shit has changed, and you're still like, you know, one of you's behaving based on 2 years ago, and the other one's based on the new person.
Ooh.
So, like, you have to have the conversations often, not once and call it a day.
True. Yeah. Like, how often would you say? Every 6 months? Every year? Every day? Every week?
I mean,
annual
I don't
meetings
know.
every Thursday.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it would come down to like, you notice changes in your partner. So like if you notice they're changed, then maybe bring it back up.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like organic. It's not really something you like schedule, like you put it down in your calendar. All right, it's our 6-month conversation. Like you just have to constantly communicate with each other and not be afraid to share something because your partner may not like it or you're embarrassed or
Sometimes you just have to schedule phone downtime. Like I have 30 minutes where I set my phone down, she sets her phone down, we sit there, we talk, how was your day, what's going on, how are your relationships, anything new, stuff like that. And as we have those conversations, we find things we need to discuss.
Nope. Anyone else for that topic before we move on?
No, I agree with it so much. I have nothing else to say.
All right. All right. How do you know when to back out of a relationship? Like when is your point that you're like I need to go. I need to.
And you can't
When-
like the third guy.
When
In a 20-year relationship,
when they try to start changing you, or not for the better, but changing you into something you're not, or when there's an issue that just doesn't want to be fixed with the other person that you have a problem with.
For me, it's when I start to feel more sad, angry, or resentful than I do happy with that person. And you know it. You know, when you're laying down at night and you're staring up at the ceiling trying to fall asleep and you're thinking about like, you know, your day and it seems like more and more often that day is negative and you kind of like try and break it down and figure out why it's negative and you realize it's that person. Like, it's time to go.
Konnichiwa. See you, man. Thanks for being on.
Bye.
See you, bro.
Take it easy.
Later, man.
All right.
Like
so
always, you're trying to sneak out, then you announce it.
I know, right? Hey, I'm sneaking out. Bye.
Don't tell them anything, but hey.
So how do you know when to back out of a relationship?
Let's see. Most recently, they told me to quit streaming, and I told them not to text me anymore or call me.
Ooh.
First time. They said it one time. Goodbye.
I'd be like, fuck you, nope.
Right? Like, this is something I already have established and in place. Why would I replace it with you that I'm just now bringing into my life? That doesn't make sense. And it's something I enjoy. So, all right, I have to stop something I enjoy. You stop something you enjoy too. We'll fucking play this equal then. That's the toxic. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that. I'm being facetious.
Another one is like if somebody, so like if you're a heavier girl or a heavier guy, right? And your partner starts dating you at that, like as a heavier person, and then they start to become toxic and like negative about your appearance. Like, well, this is what I looked like when you started dating me. Like, yeah, like tastes change, but being mean and toxic about something just shows that that person doesn't really care about you.
I wouldn't go that far. It's sad to admit, but okay. For instance, me and my main partner, we've had these discussions, which unfortunately did hurt her, but at least I was honest about it. I'm not with her for her appearance. I'm not. I'm with her for more internal reasons and more of a mental state and her the way the person that she is. Not
Internal.
Yeah, deeply internal. And yeah, it upset her, but at least I was upfront about like, hey, you've seen the other ones I've been with, and you clearly know that's more of what I'm visually into, but obviously that kind of stuff didn't work out. I'm with you because you're not like they are. You're more of a mental. You're like mentally just in a better state of mind than they are, and so I'm with you for the person that you are, not for the way you look. And it hurt her, but at least she appreciated the fact that I was honest about it. And it's just kind of like it's a very rickety bridge on that topic. But at least I was upfront with her about it.
It is.
Well, I mean, like, I think it's okay to give your partner like honest feedback. Like, if I start to get a little heavier than my own comfort level, like my husband has no problem telling me, like, "Hey, Joe, I feel like you should probably start working out again," or something like that. Like, and I'm okay with that. But like, if no, you do it for mental health. He's in the back, like, giving me commentary. But like,
Oh, I heard
if
his
you
sexy ass
met me-
voice.
Oh, he's got a sexy ass voice. But if you meet me at a certain point and I have not gone past that point, and you're now trying to tell me that you want me to look like something else, like, it might be a little bit of like, well, then why were you with me in the first place? And I understand personality and things like that, but I also feel like you have to acknowledge that, like,
Attraction is definitely a part of it.
yes, and if you're not attracted to me physically, like, how, I get that, but also, like, then,
So, and oh my god, I can't even believe I'm like saying this, but is it like damn, you have a killer body, but like on the face, or like vice versa? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to think through, like.
I just feel like partners should be supportive of each other, and like, asking someone to change is okay, but you also have to be willing to accept that that person might not want to change.
So,
Maybe I want to be.
They've been married a few times, but
A couple, not a few. I've used 3.
legitimately,
Get it right, dude.
guys treat their wives like shit who are pregnant or who had just had a baby because they gained weight.
Did you punch him?
You're a fucking piece of shit. Like, she just had a fucking baby. She just popped out a 10-pound turd. Like, come on.
To me, that's like the point where you're like, fuck you, time to move.
I take that baby and be like, peace.
Yeah, I would move on from someone like that. That's toxic. She just pumped out a baby.
Baby, you're not a turd.
Like a year later.
10-pound turd.
You had a year. She's still looking the same way.
They're all my turds. They're my turds. I wouldn't push them.
You have to acknowledge the fact that it might not be that easy for that person to go back to that body that she had before you knocked her up. So
yeah, you dig.
What the fuck?
Especially with a C-section, because they cut that muscle. That shit's hard to repair.
Yeah.
You guys ready for another topic?
Let's move on.
Ready for another drink? We're pushing the.
Oh yeah, Kevlar, do it.
The outer.
Let's do this.
I don't have one, man. I mean, let's just talk about one thing real quick. Let's change it up a little bit, guys. I was actually trying to. I got gifted a fishing pole, right? And I didn't have any of the sinkers, the bobbers, or any of that shit. So I was like, let's go to Amazon real quick and see what they can do. That shit was delivered next day, right? So. It's an amazing thing we have, right? If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it up to your Twitch account.
Oh,
and you can get a free Twitch Prime sub to use on your favorite streamer for free once a month. Go ahead and use them for sale.
Wow. Thanks for that info.
Kevlar's doing that shit early tonight.
Yeah, we're changing it up. We're changing it up. There's enough people here to hear my spiel.
Hear your spiel. That was a bigger reach than Halo. Do what? Sorry, she. What'd you say? Somebody said for sale.
Pay him.
Oh, nothing. I literally pay him nothing. He does it as like a cringy troll. Like,
because when we hang out, he buys my alcohol.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know. Do you? No, you don't.
Not for mods. Disappeared, like, you ain't paying me, fine. I'm like, I'll give you alcohol.
It's concierge service. I don't know.
Broken said I send you deck pics.
Yeah.
All the deck pics. Well, I just cleaned my deck and restained my deck, so.
It's amazing how dirty your deck gets after a few seasons of no washing.
I mean, I've been looking for people to come over and sit on my deck, so.
How many people do you think you can fit on your deck?
I'd say probably a good 15 people on my deck.
Wow.
Wow. It's impressive.
32.
That is very impressive.
So you're a two-hander.
Can you light a fire on your deck?
Yeah, I can. I wouldn't recommend it. Like I put some bricks so the heat doesn't hit the deck, but
Can you cook your deck?
can I what?
Can you cook on your deck?
Cook on my deck?
Cook?
Yeah.
Can you?
Does your deck get slippery when it's wet?
It does, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a falling hazard.
Make that shit.
So what to you is healthy porn consumption? This will vary.
At work,
Can you repeat that?
What to you is healthy porn consumption?
I would guess subjective.
Super objective.
It is. It's very subjective.
I would say up until the point where, once you get to the point where you'd rather watch porn than actually sleep with your partner, then it's probably an issue. Other than that, like, who really gives a shit?
I would say if like you're like leaving your desk at work to like go in the bathroom and rub one out and watch some porn, like stuff like that. Like when you're interrupting your responsibilities to watch porn.
Unless you work with a really hot girl and you just couldn't do it because she kept flirting with you, and you're like, I just gotta
No,
take
that's a
care
little
of this.
creepy. That's a little creepy.
That ain't it.
Or
I mean,
Totally a joke.
CJ
or
was
if
like,
you have a job
awkward.
where
That didn't just happen today.
I can tell when I'm joking or not.
Astral's trying to say something.
Sorry, go ahead, Ash.
or if you have a job where like, you know, you're just bored at work, sitting in an office, like what's wrong with watching porn while you're at work? Like
Wait.
Well, if you're
Yeah,
a
but
girl,
if you
it's
do it-
fine because you're not walking around with like a fucking pole in your pants.
Well, that and probably every guy at the office is like, oh, that's fucking sweet. Like she's watching porn at work. I thought I was weird for what? No, like the person probably thinks they're weird. So
Some
what is
people
a
that work over
normal?
at Pornhub office? See what they do.
Do what?
You
See what? Let's just go and try to get a hold of some of the people that work over in the offices of Pornhub and see what they do. And
nah,
exactly.
Probably all the time.
They don't. Nobody should.
Literally all the time.
Yeah.
Anybody from Pornhub is watching this, please send us what your company policy is on porn in the work.
I mean, aren't they too busy like actually doing work to do porn? Like, I mean, just to watch porn. Like, there's like a lot behind the scenes that gotta.
Like people in the adult industry like spend their entire time doing like, you know, sex and kinky shit. Like, no, they don't. Like, they're fucking working on the logo and.
I mean, like, what is a porn editor gotta do at the end of the day? Like, I bet they don't want to watch porn after, like, editing all that shit. I don't know, man.
Like, someone working at a work, he's like, you know what? I just do not want to be here anymore.
Well, yeah, I would say that's an inaccurate comparison, because if a gynecologist stares at vaginas all day, then naturally he wouldn't want to, you know, do stuff with the vagina later, but they still do. So you just kind of block it out, like you compartmentalize.
True. Yeah.
Very true.
So what to you is a healthy amount of porn consumption? I would say most people do. Now I may be way off base here. Do most of you watch porn when you masturbate?
Yes.
Sure.
porn gross.
50-50.
Depends on the mood.
I don't have to, but it's ideally
Yeah.
it's a great tool to have.
Depends on the kind of orgasm I want.
Do not
Ooh.
recommend porn.
That's true. Fucking somebody popped up in chat, nut batter. They're like 80-20. Nut batter. I fucking love the name. Let's see. A healthy amount of porn consumption. I would say as long as you don't need it every single time you masturbate or have sex, or like you aren't focusing on one specific little niche of porn that you need this to like get off like that, that's probably not a good thing. You're probably not going to come across that in real life unless you start doing that yourself.
You can't have an orgasm without like while having sex because there's no porn in like that's an issue.
Yep.
Well, literally, that's the definition of a fetish.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like if you're comfortable enough with your partner that you should be able to talk about your fetishes.
Very much so. Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of the South Park episode where
Lucky.
I mean, I might judge you a little bit if you're like, I'm really into like, dogs. Like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few things I'm just like, no.
No. Can you
branch into fetishes?
Put the horsey back. Put the horse back, please. No horse.
Donkey?
Horse back in the stable.
No donkey.
I mean, I've always wanted to go to Tijuana, but I guess you can just Google it.
What if you think your partner's habit is unhealthy, but they think it's healthy? How do you handle that situation?
Is this affecting or not affecting your sex life?
Let's say it's affecting.
Okay. Then you have to talk about it. Or again, it's so easy to leave people if you don't get along.
So
that is
it is, but let's say you want it to work. Let's say you want it to work and your partner's habit is affecting your sex life. You think it's unhealthy. They aren't self-aware enough to realize that it is unhealthy. Or it's gotten to the point where it is unhealthy.
If they aren't receptive to the conversation, just tell them that you're going to get the entire family involved and have an intervention.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
You can't have an intervention if you tell them before you do it.
Kevlar, you're watching way too much midget porn, sir.
Say what? I'm sorry.
We need to have an intervention.
It's half off all
like they're on pulley systems and shit, and it's like people are controlling them like puppets.
Oh God. So I was gonna say, like, if you have a conversation with your partner and you express concern and they are unreceptive, I guess the next step would be try to like get therapy, like couples therapy. And if that doesn't work, then I think it's time for you to move on.
I think as long as it's not hindering like your partner's lifestyle or your sex life or anything like that, it shouldn't be an issue. Like you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Can I ask a question? Follow up, because maybe this is me, but I feel like a lot of women tend to be very judgmental about their partner's porn consumption.
I would agree.
And so because I feel like I hear it so often where he's like, oh well, he's watching so much porn, and it's like he's probably not watching that much porn, and it's just because like a lot of the women feel self-conscious about the kind of porn that their partner is watching.
Or the way the women look in the porn that you're watching.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Not me. I don't look like that. I can never be like that. I fucking hate you, Kevin.
Why?
Wow.
This got real personal real quick.
I'm kidding. It's called comedy. It's all made up, guys.
But I feel like that's usually the case.
It comes down to your partner's sex drive too. Like if his sex drive is more than his partner's, then obviously he's going to try to take care of that, so he's not putting so much stress on his lady, and vice versa. Like,
putting mileage on the new vehicle. Yeah, we know. I agree.
Mileage on a new vehicle.
I mean, sexual appetite is a huge factor in that too. Honestly, I think that's key. That's the biggest factor in that. If it's not met, or one's
you can't demand
70-30
have sex with you because you want to have sex 17 times a day.
Yeah.
Not realistic.
I follow a subreddit that is all about like low libido partners with high libido partners.
Right.
And it's insane to read some of this stuff. Like some of it's like legitimate, like, the woman just, or the guy is just not interested at all. But some of it is just so like oh, well, he should want to have sex with me every time I want to have sex. It's really just selfish.
It's a very relevant topic for a lot of people here. We've all had a lot of personal experiences with the low libido partner, or like the trying to get back to the way we were. Like things have changed, like life's crazy, and we want to get back to the way we were. Like that's a very relevant topic.
Mm-hmm. So,
topic.
Anyone else for that topic? And if not, we're gonna open it up to like everyone, including people on the panel, people in chat. If you have something you want to talk about or a topic or something, now's the time. If not, we're gonna start wrapping up here.
I would just say keep things spontaneous and fun, and try to enjoy new atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta accept change in relationships and in life.
All right, so for the monogamous people, if you are if you're a high libido person and you're dating and your partner is low libido, is it wrong to search elsewhere for you? Because for polyamorous people, luckily you kind of have the variety and not have to stress over that kind of stuff as much.
If you guys aren't agreeing upon it, yes, it's wrong.
I was just gonna say,
Then you need to go.
And then if they are not agreeing on it, nor are they kind of fitting the same kind of the need for it as much as you do, is it wrong to probably want to end things with them just for that?
Nope. It's acceptable.
I don't think
Part
so.
of a relationship.
Like, honestly, Dan Savage, I don't know if anyone has ever heard of him or listened to any of his podcasts or shows. He does a really good podcast covering a lot of almost the same topics that we cover. But he talks about in monogamous relationships where one person isn't getting their needs fulfilled and you really want to make it work, the other person isn't like being lenient at all, he suggests fulfilling those needs and not broadcasting it. I don't agree with that. I honestly feel like you should be honest and open, and if it was me in that situation, I would just say, okay, I understand you don't want me to get those needs fulfilled outside of the relationship, but I'm telling you, if things do not change, either this is going to end or it's going to lead to me cheating. Like that's the only two options here left. And what's tough about that though is like it almost comes off like you're trying to
ultimatum.
Yeah, kind of, but it's kind of like your final breaking point, you know what I mean?
But if you do it the way he was suggesting it, you're eroding any trust that could be. Like when they find out, there's zero trust left in the relationship, and the relationship's over anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing as well is like if you tell your partner like, hey, this is an issue and like I want us to have sex more often, and your partner still doesn't make any effort to change that, then your partner doesn't give a shit, and you should probably try and find someone else anyway.
Coming from a poly perspective, one of the most important things that at least I believe in, and for the most part my partner believes in, is ethical non-monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
And that means our partners need to know we're not going to be your dirty little secret.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's huge too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do that.
Hide hose. They got a nose.
I always see people like to when it comes to things like that where I'm if you're dating someone who's cheating on their partner, I place as much blame on you for dating that person as the person that's cheating, because you are aware that they are doing that, and you're just as bad. Like you're enabling that kind of behavior, and I think you should be held just as responsible for it.
Hey, Nolene, go ahead and jump in.
I also want to think that if you're driven to that point, you also need to be responsible enough to say, is this relationship worth what I'm after, what I really want? And then if what you want is more than what the relationship is offering, then you need to, for lack of a better term, man up and end things amicably and move on with your lives. That being said, there are also alternatives to, if you're not getting that physical pleasure, there are, there's porn, there's masturbation, there are sex toys out there. There are other alternatives than finding another person to fulfill that pleasure as well.
Not the same.
This could be extremely situational, but if they're into porn, then you could have the option to maybe take pictures or take video for your partner and maybe go that route. But that's probably extremely situational.
Well, I also believe in like mutual masturbation too. So even if your partner's not like super into it, like they can help you, even if they're not actually wanting to have physical sex, like penetration. You know what I mean?
Right, just being open and honest and, communicating your desires and what you can do to help each other, that goes a lot farther.
Now, sorry, chat's talking about Dan Savage here. Dan Savage may have changed his stance because I will admit I have not listened to him in like the past 1.5 years, something like that. But that was definitely something that he promoted for a long time, a long time. Did he specify? He specified with relationships. If you're in a happily married relationship, it's going to tear up the family. It's going to tear up the kids. It's going to tear up everything and just ruin what would be a good relationship. Besides that one thing to fulfill that need outside the relationship, and just absolutely make certain that it will never, ever get back to your family. I don't agree with that. I honestly feel like you should be honest, but
if that's an issue, then it's not a happy marriage. You're just telling yourself that it's a happy marriage.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It can get back to your family. You can't 100% guarantee that it won't, and then it's gonna fuck things up a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, you take a risk either way. Be open about it from the start, or try to keep it a secret. What happens if it gets out? Exactly. That's one thing I learned when I was very young, is that the truth will always come out. It may take it years for it to come out, but it will always come out.
There's no secret.
Nope.
Yeah, you're all about it. Bad, you have a better chance. Either way, whether you do it or not, be upfront and be truthful about it, because even that bad outcome is better than them finding out behind their back.
Nope.
It's so much better.
So we're gonna start wrapping up here. If you guys want to jump into Discord for the afterthoughts portion of the tonight's stream, show, panel, discussion, whatever the hell you want to call it, feel free, !Discord in chat there. There's also the resources link. Oop, if I could type today. Resources, there you go. Check those out. Give them a click. But Astral, you want to start with the outro here?
Hi, I'm Astral. You can find me on all my social medias at xastraltvx and all my streaming platforms. Stream every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. on Twitch and other places you can look on my social media and everything. Thanks for having me again, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for being on. All right, Kevlar.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me once again. Kevlar. I am a variety streamer. You can catch me Monday through Friday, weekdays at noon to 3 for some lunchtime streams, and then on Thursdays for the panel. Other than that, you can catch me on all my social medias at I'm Kevlar. Thanks for having me, bud.
Thanks for being on, man. Jojo?
Hello. Thanks for putting up with me. I know I'm acquired taste. It's okay. I'm like a fine wine, man. Not everybody likes wine. It's okay. So I'm JoJo West, model on social media, JoJo West on Twitch. I stream Tuesdays and Saturdays. Thursdays I do the panel. That schedule's probably changing soon. I'm a variety streamer. I stream Jackbox, Red Dead, Division 2, and sometimes I'll stream single player games as well. It just depends on what's going on. Yes.
Crazy says he hates wine, but he loves a glass of JoJo. Ah. Naleen?
Hey everyone, I'm Nahaleen. I'm really not that much of a streamer. I actually am a community admin for Dream. But you can find me on all my social media handles. It's at Nahaleen. So give me a follow on Twitter if you want to interact.
Nice. Thanks for being on here. Lou?
My name is Lou Merck. I'm Lou Merck under all social media. I stream daily for this month only for Color of Change, a charity that helps out Black Lives Matter. Also, a music video I edited just released like this hour under the guy's name is RVHU. It's on all social media and Spotify. So if you guys want to check that out as well, you can go ahead and do that. And then after that, yeah, just Lou Merck.
Nice. Oh yeah, man. Sishay?
Sishay plays on Twitch. I mean, yeah. I stream Wednesdays through Sundays at 6 p.m. usually. Thursdays, if I'm on the panel, I'll probably try doing it at like 10 p.m. like tonight. Sundays, I do Sea of Thieves Day at 1 o'clock.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, variety streamer. I play I play some MMOs. I play, adventure game. I've been bouncing around a lot lately. I'm trying to find things I like lately. Yeah, social media. Sishay plays as well. SoundCloud Sishay, and yeah, I just glad I was able to catch up on the show this week since I missed out last week.
Well, thanks for being on this week, man. Sigo?
Hey, I'm Psycho. We play a lot of Magic on my channel, unfortunately, because sometimes it really pisses me off. But anyway, we also do some variety and whatever. But most of the time we stream about 2:30 in the morning to about 7 in the morning, because I work nights. So have fun. We do Magic tournaments on Saturdays, and we play basically whatever on Sundays. We also do community game nights on Saturdays as well. So we get shit-faced on stream and say some inappropriate things.
Jack? Hell yeah, man.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. So that was one of my streaming partners coming in to see when we're going to stream next. So
Nice.
Jack Mary on Twitch. I stream with my kids. We do family-friendly streams when they're on. When they're not, I will swear like a swaler. Ugh, swaler. Drinking too much. I can promise you that this Saturday I'm going to be doing a cooking stream, probably at about 5 o'clock. And sometimes in the evenings I'll do coding streams. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it is _JackMary_. And thank you for having me on.
Thanks for being on again, man. And then Crazy.
C Crazy, CK for short. A variety streamer. I took a little time off whenever I had my my newest child, and that hiatus is going to be up this weekend. I'd like to jump back into the streaming game over the weekend, and yeah, a lot of variety. I'm probably going to do some battle royale or something. All my socials are C Crazy. Thanks for having me, for so.
Yeah, thanks for being on, man. So if you don't know, I'm pretty sure like literally most of the people here know. I stream Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday we do like single player story-based games. So I was playing through Witcher 3. I played that for a couple weeks. I'm gonna circle back to it. I've decided to give it a break with Super Seducer 2, which is literally like the cringiest pickup artist game I've ever played in my entire life. I mean, granted, this is the first one I've ever played. It'll probably be the last one I play. It's so bad. I mean
the dude doesn't wear socks. What?
It is fucking like it's the most awkward silences, the cut scenes, everything about it's awkward. So we just played through that. I'll probably try out KFC dating simulator this next Wednesday, because they came out with a free dating. Yeah, it's JoJo. Yep, they have a free dating simulator. So I might try that out this next Wednesday, and then probably circle back to some more Witcher 3 once we beat the KFC one. But Thursdays we do the discussion panel. I'm always looking for people to be involved with the discussion panel. So if you're watching and you'd like to be on sometime, I would love to have you. If you can DM me, I'll be more than happy to send you the invite, give you all the details, all that good stuff. Literally all you need is a camera, a microphone, and be comfortable about talking about personal experiences and stuff regarding like sex, relationships, and dating topics. That's pretty much it. I mean, we're all pretty open-minded, non-judgmental. Like, we all have our preferences and stuff, but like, we're not going to judge somebody else for like having a differing opinion on stuff. Fridays we do perverted Jackbox games and viewer submitted memes, TikTok videos, and YouTube videos, and then Saturday we do multiplayer games all stream. So don't forget, this next Thursday is a little bit different. So this month is Pride Month. Next week I'm trying to finish putting together a all LGBT discussion panel talking about like all LGBT topics. If you have ideas for topics, if you know somebody that would be a perfect fit for the panel, definitely DM me, let me know. I would love to have them on and involved. Right now it's, I'd say probably about, as long as everybody signs up, it's about 3/4 of the way full. So I have maybe 4 to 5 spots left to fill here, and I'm trying to keep it balanced, and then also try to get people from all different parts of the LGBT spectrum, so that way everyone's like perspectives are covered. But again, if you have topics that you would like to hear folks discuss, let me know. Just to give you an idea of like a couple of the people that have already signed up. So X Gnomes, she was on the panel a couple weeks ago. She signed up to be on there. T with JT has signed up to be on there. Green Dumpling has agreed to be on there. So
he's hilarious.
Yeah. Green Dumpling is funny.
Dumpling's amazing.
He is funny as hell. He is like the sassiest gay person I know. He is so funny. I'm trying to round up a couple others.
He's amazing.
He is.
How
He is.
more do you need?
Do what?
How many more do you need?
I'm looking for 4 to 5 more. I spent all this week, and I'm going to spend pretty much this entire weekend doing nothing but like recruiting for that. I've been like, I reached out to a couple other folks, but there's a lot of people that don't reply to DMs. It's just they don't even like acknowledge DMs, which is unfortunate, because how do you get sponsorships? How do you get further opportunities if you're just literally ignoring all of your DMs, have no business email listed, have your DMs closed? Like, bro, you are literally killing your chances right now. But that's next Thursday. But we're gonna go raid K-City here. She is streaming right now. She, last I saw, she was like doing makeup or something. Let me see what she's doing now. Catching up, then doing like playing some Ark. So
by the way, Ark is free on Epic this week.
Oh, fuck. Okay, if you've not played Ark, I would 100% recommend you get your ass on Epic and download that right now, because it is a super addictive.
Show me how to play.
Oh,
it's just
so
a vanilla
addictive.
version. There's no DLCs, but
I've never played it, so show me. Let's go.
Oh god. All right. All right. If you guys want to play Ark, if we can get a group together for Ark, we'll definitely do a group for Ark. Because
I already own Ark.
God, it's so addicting. It's bad. I was like hooked on it for a year and a half. It's bad.
Isn't that how you met Joey?
Yes. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so time consuming. Like, if you don't log into the game, like, your dinosaurs die. Like, you have to log in and feed them and shit. It's that serious.
It's like Tamagotchis.
it takes like a month for
So
them to
that's
start,
yeah, that's Isn't that, yeah, exactly. It depends on the server. Like there's the like the OG servers, there's the modded servers, there's all kinds of shit now. But
I ran my
we are popping in Discord video chat right now. The raid is about ready to finish. Make sure to go show her some love, spam some emotes, give her some follows. I'm gonna pop over there, hang out for a little bit. I'll be in Discord though, so I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Bye.
Body raid.